こいつは楽しめそうだ。
Fighters ready. Engage.
Alright, man, what's going on, everybody? Movie 186 back again with another podcast. The Overrated Podcast, episode 26. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, and we do have time because you don't have to go to work, right? Right, Steve?
Yeah, I don't have to go to work. I finally got that stuff taken care of,
Well,
and I no longer will be working on Monday. I set all that stuff straight, so everything will be back in schedule. So this is the Traditionalist 101. And what were you going to say?
no, I was gonna say to do your intro.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the Traditionalist 101. You know how it is. It's the most important thing is for us to hold on to tradition. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this podcast because man, we have so much to talk about. Crazy drama issues, things with that was going on this weekend. Great sporting events, man. A lot of stuff to talk about, especially with gaming as well. Yeah.
Yes. I'm sharing the podcast out as of right now. But while we're at it, before we talk about the Super Bowl, there was a UFC event that you watched yesterday.
Only
Not
watched
yesterday, but Saturday.
I only watched the main event. Like you saw, you saw me post a couple of small clips in the group chat, and I could have posted more stuff, but I was just too focused on on the fight. But it was an okay fight. Like it wasn't fantastic, but
And you watched this in at like I wasn't able to watch the video because I'm trying to save space on my I'm trying to save space on my phone, which I that's a whole nother topic I have to discuss. I'm I'm team Android, right? When it comes to Android versus iPhone,
yeah.
I'm team Android, but Android, this Android 11 update has really fucked up my phone, and I can't get into it. We're gonna be here forever.
So you couldn't watch the videos?
No, I can watch it, but it just like if I download it, it's gonna save it on my phone, and I don't have that much space on my phone because this update takes up literally like over 50% of my phone, and it's a whole big to do. It's a whole big to do. So
Oh jeez.
yeah, but did you watch? But you watched this at the L House, right?
No, I actually watched it at Twin Peaks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man, let me tell you, Twin Peaks, that place is just an amazing establishment. Like I love the atmosphere, and yeah, there are obviously good looking women in there, but like the customer service that I get from there is outstanding.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times too. It's a great place.
Yeah, and it's always packed. Like people was parking, at the curbs. People were parking at places where you're not supposed to be parking at, and it was packed. Like it was packed. Like when I say packed, people were standing in line, and oh my gosh, it was packed. But yeah, well deserved. That place definitely deserved every penny, every penny.
And the funny thing is that even though I know did they have the volume up?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can hear the commentary and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
All right. So obviously last week, our last topic was Joe Rogan, right? Everything going on with him. Now, apparently he wasn't at this UFC event. Like I heard about it, and he wasn't there, right? I think he
Nope.
said he had a scheduling conflict, and I think that scheduling conflict was between the UFC and his couch. Maybe his couch told him, "Yo, you can't go." I don't know. We all know why he wasn't there. Like you can discuss it. You can discuss it.
Yeah, it's a very small article. I'm not gonna go too much into it because I'm pretty sure everyone knows why he wasn't able to partake in this event. But here it says Joe Rogan won't be on UFC 271 broadcast due to scheduling conflict, like what you just said. So here it says that the television broadcast UFC 271 on Saturday night will include Joe Rogan. According to multiple reports, the controversy personality and podcast host won't handle his normal duties for the MMA broadcast. The New York Post cited a UFC official had said Rogan had a scheduling conflict preventing him from being on the broadcast. Now, look, let me stop here right quick. How in the world that you were able to determine that you had a had a scheduling conflict nearly the day of the event? Like, because if this were true, would he have known this, like weeks in advance
Yeah,
and told everybody
yeah. We
this?
all, like we know he's not telling the truth. And I
Eh,
mean, you if you want to continue on before I get my my thoughts on this.
yeah, I'm continuing on, a little further. And look, we all know exactly why he did not decide to partake in the in the in the because look, from what I've heard, Bisping found out about it the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, I think what happened was because the whole incident, with Spotify, him using the N word, talking about Planet of the Apes, all that other mumbo jumbo, right? I honestly believe that either he or Dana White or Disney,
No, Dana White had nothing to do with this. I think it might have been. It's more likely Disney.
Disney.
Mhm.
I believe because of that situation that Disney did not want him to partake in that sport, at least for that one event.
Mhm.
And and look, I can understand what some people were saying, how it probably would have been a huge distraction. They'll
Oh,
probably
100%. Yeah.
yeah, people would talking about him more so than about the fight. People will probably who knows, they probably would have received some backlash to to the woke mob, saying that why is he partaking in this event, knowing that he had received so much backlash, and how Spotify lost a bunch of artists, a lot of people pulled out from Spotify. It's not a coincidence. But what were you going to say?
I think that either Disney got involved or he decided that he didn't want to be bigger than the pay per view. That's what I think. I think either Disney got involved and then or he didn't or he himself didn't want to become bigger than the pay per view. So I think that's why he did. But this scheduling conflict, that's BS. He didn't have to go. He didn't have to come with something that blatantly a lie. He didn't have to come up with that blatant of a lie. Like come on.
Yeah,
But like yeah, I do think either it was Disney that interfered or that he simply didn't want to become bigger than the pay per view.
even if that was the case, I don't think he should have pulled out, even if he was worried about that. Even if he was worried that he would have been bigger than pay-per-view, or he would have been a distraction. Like, you're used to people criticizing you all the time anyway. A lot of people who make their own content, whether it's on YouTube, we talking about artists, we talking about actors, actresses, politicians. Like, it happens all over the place anyway when it comes to distractions and people ridiculing you, criticizing you, or crucifying you. Like, this stuff happens all the time anyway. Why should this be the exception to the rule? I mean, I don't get it. Like, people was criticizing you, saying that you was giving out misinformation about the vaccine. You still partake in the last event. People
No,
was
but the whole thing with the N word is it's a different animal. Because good look, I mean I think more people support him in the vaccine thing than they do with him using the N word.
Yeah, but people like media like CNN and and obviously a lot of people on the left were saying things like, "Oh, you have millions of people watching you, and you could send all this misinformation. You're basically killing people." Like they were accusing him for basically killing people.
Yeah, but he wasn't gonna do that on the show. Like he wasn't gonna do that on the UFC broadcast. You can say what you want about him, on the podcast. Like if you feel that way, that's fine. But he's not doing that on the show. He's not like, oh, here's a takedown. Vaccines will kill you. Like no, he's not doing that.
No, yeah, but like he was already receiving backlash already.
Yeah, of course. Like yeah, of course. Like I mean, right now
That didn't stop him. Why should this stop him?
well, yeah, I'm telling you, it's because the controversy with the N word. Because everyone knows about his thoughts on the vaccine, which is completely different than what he had against the vaccine a couple years ago, where he actually told the truth about what vaccines really are before his dive into whatever the hell he's into, right? But that's besides the point. The facts are that he decided to take the day off to to let cooler heads prevail, or at least Disney told him to take a day off. So
Yeah, so
it is what it is.
Yeah, this is all that that they have. So it basically says former middleweight champion Michael Bisping will replace Joe Rogan on ESPN and pay-per-view broadcast. Now we already like I said before, Michael Bisping, who was a champion and never became champion again after he got that beatdown from George St. Pierre. But after that, like I said, even he, was a little bit, surprised that he had to, they had to replace Joe. So that scheduling conflict, I'm continuing reading, comes as Rogan has been mired in controversy in recent weeks as his Spotify podcast has been a source of COVID-19 vaccine misinformation, like we just stated earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And over 100 episodes were pulled from the streaming service because Rogan used the N-word on some episodes, misinformation, and other controversial topics. So see, this is what I was talking about just a few moments ago. Before this was released, the whole N-word thing, he was getting ridiculed, because of misinformation and other controversial topics. People was already going for this dude, even back then. I remember CNN was criticizing him, and I think TYT was also talking about him a couple of times. Was it TYT? No, I think it was just CNN.
I'm sure they have.
And a lot of people were basically saying that they envy Joe Rogan because he could capture a much bigger audience than the traditional news media.
Mm-hmm.
And which is 100% true. For me, I'm not gonna call him a coward like some people from the right. I'm not gonna call him a coward. I'm not gonna call him a weakling or anything like that. But I do wish that he could.
Who call him a coward?
Yeah, a lot of people was calling him, like guys that I know for a fact you don't follow on Twitter.
And that's why, because they're fucking idiots. He's not a coward. Because a coward is someone who would not address the conversation that he's in the controversy that he's in the first place.
Yeah, because
he addressed them.
People call him a coward because he apologized.
Mm-hmm.
People call him a coward, for not partaking in the UFC because of the backlash he received from using the N-word. Now for me, look, like I said before, do I think he should have apologized? For that. I don't know. I don't know if because here's the thing, him apologizing didn't do anything. People didn't forgive him. People still think that he should have been canceled, and people are still removing their content or their music from Spotify after he apologized. So what's the point? What's the point? For me, if he wanted to use the N-word because he was quoting somebody, he wasn't using it for malice intent. He didn't call somebody that. He was just quoting something. That's why I had actually the question last week I don't want to, go too far into this, but that's why I asked you the question last week when people say things like, if I want to sing a song, how come I cannot sing along? Like, I'm not allowed to sing, this song because it has an N word into it. Like, those are the very little complicated issues, at least for me. I know for you, you probably don't think so, but I think those are very, very complicated issues to the point to where, wow, because I'm a white guy, I can't even sing a song because of the color of my skin. And so when they say that, that's a violation of my freedom of speech, I get what they're talking about. I get it. So for people to get upset with Joe Rogan for using the N-word because he was quoting something, he was just reading something or quoting something, I don't that is nowhere near as the same as him actually calling a black guy in his face, or in his podcast, the N-word. Completely two different things. And I don't think you should treat it, if you want to tell them that you shouldn't read, you shouldn't say under any circumstance, that's fine. But don't make it seem like it's the exact same thing, because it's not. Especially when he says that even in context, like, because you said it yourself, context matter. You said that many times in this podcast, that context matters and it's important. So if that's the case, I don't think you should treat it exactly the same way as if he actually used it on somebody to degrade somebody. You know what I'm saying?
I guess. All right. So I mean, you had that controversy, but obviously the main thing that happened pretty much over the weekend was the Super Bowl.
No.
And
Wait. Hold on. Wait, we're moving on.
yeah, yeah. I already said what I had to say about Joe Rogan.
Well, I
Just
mean,
watch last week's podcast, everybody.
you didn't really say much,
I know what
but
I said everything I needed to say. Like
nah,
I said that he
you
was full. I said that the excuse of him going to I said the excuse of him scheduling conflict is BS. We all know that. Dana White even called them out on it, saying that it was BS. Um,
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think I have it. Like, it's right here. Can you see this?
yeah.
Yeah. So let me read this real quick. So let me see if I can find it. No, I don't think it's here. Okay, yeah. So speaking of MMA junkie, White said there was no conflict of schedule. There was no conflict of schedule. Joe Rogan didn't work tonight. Joe Rogan could have worked tonight. Yeah, Joe Rogan. I don't know what Joe Rogan had to do. You guys have to ask Joe Rogan. But there was no Joe couldn't work or anything like that. I know that came out. That's total bull crap. I don't want to say, the whole thing, but it's total bull crap. However, while he poured cold water on rumors of conflicting schedule, White confirmed that Rogan would return for future UFC event. Okay, that's good. That's good. And I guarantee you, like, I'm going to be waiting for this, because if this happens, I am definitely going to talk about it in the next podcast. If he goes, I don't to the next event, I don't want to hear a peep from anybody. I don't care if you're from the left. I don't care if you're from the right. I don't care if you're neutral. I don't care. I don't want to hear a peep from anybody that will say, "Oh, why is he back?" Partaking in the UFC event. I don't want to hear that. He already apologized. He got criticized for apologizing. He said that he's not going to do it again. Let's move on. He took accountability. Like, he took responsibility. He's not even, because he's at the process of losing money, because I'm pretty sure he's not going to get paid. I don't know how
You
the
got paid for what?
I don't know how the whole commentator thing works, like how they get paid. Like, do they get paid per event that they partake in?
I
Or
mean, he probably has a salary, but money's not the issue for him. He'll be fine.
no. But yeah, even if that's the case, though, you don't want to lose money like that.
He'll be fine.
If that is no. You're only saying that because he's rich. But,
Okay, then that's why I'm not worried about it.
no. Come on, dude. Like, just because you have money, that doesn't mean, oh, let me just lose money because I have money. Like, come on, man. Like, you know better than that.
He probably made more money that day than he did doing the UFC thing. Like, he'll be fine. Look. If he was gonna get fired, he would have gotten fired already. But he's still with Spotify, and he's still with UFC. He'll be fine.
Yeah,
And
okay.
if in my opinion, and I'm gonna say this last thing, he probably either Disney told him, "Yo, just take the event off," or he didn't want to be a distraction for the event. That's probably what happened.
Unfortunately, they had to get involved with Disney, and now look what happened to him.
Well, I mean, look what happened to them. They make more money now than they ever made.
Crap.
Don't
I
don't.
think you're right. I think you're right.
Yeah, obviously, that's why they did what they did. Like, they're making more money now than they ever have. And trust me, if they actually gave two shits what Dana White or anyone else had to say, because look, Dana White's he ain't with the quote woke mob, as you like to call it. Like, and if they had a problem with it, he would be gone too. But he's still there.
He's talking about Dana White.
Yeah,
Okay.
trust me, he's still there, and Joe Rogan will be fine.
All right. So this one last piece, collaborating White comments. The Hollywood Reporter claims that Rogan is confirmed as returning to the next UFC pay-per-view event. Good.
Which is, I think that's the one that is Masvidal versus Covington.
Are you watching that?
Absolutely, I am not working that day.
Okay. You're actually putting effort not to work that day.
I'm not working that day.
All right, good. Like, we'll probably it'll be better just going at Soul's house,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll make the plan to go see that fight. I'm gonna make sure I'm off that day too. So according to them, he's simply sitting out the UFC 271 and return in the future is guaranteed. Okay, now I feel even much better. So this is guaranteed that he will be back. So for all you people that wants to criticize him and hate him because of because of his speech, listen, he's going to be back, and I'm glad that he's going to be back. I'm really happy for. I'm not happy that he didn't want to partake in this last one, but as long as he's going to be coming back, that's all good. So he's still with Spotify, he's still with UFC, so everything's fine. All right, so let's go to the Super Bowl.
Okay, so yeah, that was yesterday. I was only able to watch. The first two drives, and then the second half, at work. So yeah. But with all that said, it was a good game. I thought it was a good game. I was frustrated with the Rams because they tried to run the ball and they just simply couldn't. And obviously I know Odell Beckham got hurt. I think he got hurt in the second quarter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got hurt in the second quarter. It believed to be a torn ACL, so that sucks. But like I said, they were struggling to move the ball. Since like when I left, they were up 7-0, and when the third quarter, when I got to it with the third quarter, they were down. I think they were down. Were they down 20-10?
I can't remember the score.
Yeah, I think they were down 20-10, and Chris, the point. And look, I think Chris Collinsworth is an excellent broadcaster, but he kept saying, the Rams don't really have nobody left. I'm like, the fuck, you have Cooper Cup. Like, you have Cooper Cup. Like,
Yeah,
as long you.
No,
as long
no,
as you
I actually agreed. I actually agree with him because you have to remember, what's the guy's name? Because we have to remember. I think Robert Woods, he got injured like during the regular season.
Yeah, and
Like,
that's why they got Odell.
Yeah, so because the guy that you replaced also got hurt.
Okay, but it's like, you have Cooper Cup.
Yeah,
Like,
but all they had to do was just shift, to Cooper Cup and double team him from now on. So
that clearly didn't work ultimately.
it was working. No, trust
I
me,
mean,
it was
until it
working.
didn't. Until the last two drives, it didn't work.
Well, we'll discuss that one, a little bit later.
It's
But
like, I get you have injuries, but like you have Cooper Cup, like you have a guy who I think had the best offensive season out of any wide receiver ever.
Yeah, yeah.
And he won the Super Bowl MVP. Even though I do think that it should have been Aaron Donald, but it is what it is. But like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it was fun. I didn't watch the halftime show. I know everyone talking about the halftime. I didn't watch the halftime show, so
Yeah,
it
I
was
saw the halftime show. I mean, nostalgia obviously played a huge part, and I thought that it was very
yeah,
it
it
was
played a part. It played a part in a lot of Super Bowl shows. The only difference is that now, instead of them catering to the 30 and 40-year-olds back then, they're catering to 30 and 40-year-olds now, which is us.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so I thought the halftime show, was good. I wasn't. Everyone is now talking about Eminem, kneeling. I was like, listen, y'all, you don't know why he's kneeling. All this speculation of he's copying Kaepernick, all this stuff about he's he's something's wrong with him. Okay, for me, when I saw him kneeling, I thought he was praying. That's what I thought he was doing. I didn't think anything about calling Kaepernick or anything like that. I thought he was just simply praying or was just trying to give not trying to take all the because what's his name was playing the piano
Dr. Dre.
Yeah, so as he's playing the piano, I think he was just trying to either give him the recognition or have people pay attention to him as he was playing the piano, or I thought he was just simply praying. I didn't think of anything about calling Kaepernick or him taking a knee. I wasn't thinking of anything like that. So I thought it was very silly that became a controversy just because he took a knee. I thought that was silly.
Nah, how people.
But as far as the game, I really enjoyed the first half and the second half, and the reason why is because I thought that this was probably one of the best, well balanced games I've seen in a long time. You had the defense do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you had. I mean, at the very beginning, if I remember correctly, I think Trey Henderson, sacked Stafford,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the second half, you saw Burrow, constantly getting sacked, but both quarterbacks was getting sacked. Then people got worried because Stafford looked like he got hurt.
Burrow looked like he looked like his knee got torn up.
Yeah, and then Burrow, the same way. So, dude, the defense was doing their thing on both sides.
Yeah.
Both the Rams and the Bengals defense played well. Like when you think about it, even the running backs they didn't play that well either. They didn't play well at all because the defense was just outstanding. Stopping the running game. I believe there was who was his name? I can't remember his name right now, but he only had like 21 yards. For the Rams.
Yeah, they couldn't run the ball. Like they could not run the ball, and like I figured, at some point you're gonna have to let Matthew Stafford throw the ball. So yeah. Are you there? Yeah, I can hear you. Your webcam gone though.
Oh crap. I don't know why it's gone. Like it's still. I don't know what's going on, but I think his name was Akers or whatever. I don't know his name, but I think his name is Akins or something like that. Yeah, he only had 21 yards, but Mixon, that dude had like around 70 yards, for the Bengals. Mm-hmm. So he had an okay game when he was playing during the second half. Like he was playing fine. He was playing fine, but at the end of the day, though, it was very, very difficult for each team to have a very good, decent running game.
Yeah,
it was so. To me, I thought the game was very, very well balanced, where you got to see really good offense, you got to see really good defense. So, I enjoyed it really much, really a whole lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was a good game, especially near the end.
Because I don't know if you remember that pass. Well, you said you saw the beginning. So do you see that pass when against Chase and Ramsey?
No.
When Chase caught the ball, it was it was a very long pass, and then Ramsey was tapping his chest saying, "My bad, whatever."
Mm-hmm.
And then
I think I did. Was that the one that he dropped?
Yeah. No.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was later, that was
Yeah,
later.
he said, yeah, my bad. But then he redeemed himself by causing a incomplete pass, to Hankins. So I thought he did a very good job. And then, I think they were trying to call him out on it, he's been getting beaten and whatever. But no, I think Ramsey, played a good game. Like they were targeting him a lot. Like like Burrow was targeting him a lot, but he I think he did a nice fair job. I think he did a really good job.
All right. So and then we agreed that it should have been Aaron Donald that should have been MVP.
That in all honesty, in either case, I think I would have been fine. If it was Donald, I would have been fine. Cooper Cup, I mean, dude, you have to admit that dude was outstanding.
Yeah, he was. But like to me, Aaron Donald the one that won them the game.
Oh, you mean with that last sack, right?
No, not just with the last, not with that last play. Last two plays, like they had a third. I think they had a third and one, and he single handedly stopped the running back from getting a first down.
Yeah.
Like to me, like he was, especially in the second half, he's the one he dominated the game.
Yeah, I remember.
And he kept the team, and like he kept. I get, and look, it doesn't bother me that Cooper Cup won. Like it doesn't bother me, but
Yeah, it sound like it does.
no. I just think that when you look at the numbers, I think Aaron Donald had more of an impact on the game. And if he is going to retire, it would have been nice for him to retire as Super Bowl MVP. But he got a ring, so he'll be fine.
Who are you talking about?
Aaron Donald.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you think he's gonna retire?
I don't know. Say something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
What
is
happened?
is your webcam acting up?
Yeah, he's acting up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to fix it right now as we speak. Go ahead.
All right. I mean, that was the word that was going around. That was the word that was going around a couple, like pretty much before the game started, that he was gonna retire if they won.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, they won, and I mean, guys are retiring earlier now than ever, especially or like even guys who are still as great as he is, and yeah, we'll see, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I'm still trying to fix the camera, but yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me either. I think he did a really good job, of containing, the line and getting his hands on Stanford. And dude, I know for a fact that Joe Burrow, he's going to have a really good future with that organization.
Yeah,
he's going to have a
at least as long as they can protect him.
Yeah,
as long as they can protect them.
Okay. Quick question. Now, do you believe that during the last drive that the Rams had scored a touchdown? I don't know if you saw. I don't know if you saw the last part, in the highlight, because they did have in the highlights where I know he ran for. I think the team ran for like 75 yards to score that touchdown, which is good in 2 minutes, which is good. But there was a penalty that was called on number 55 against Cooper Cup. Did you see that play?
What was the penalty?
Holding on defense.
Oh, defensive holding.
Yes.
I couldn't really see it, but I think it was the play that Collinsworth. I think he said that he disagreed with that call.
Yes.
So, you know how these things are, man. Some of these things are subjective.
Yeah, he said that he said, calling, these tiki-tack fouls where you wasn't really calling any fouls, throughout the whole entire game.
Yeah, it was very penalty less game, which is always good until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I was very very surprised, especially oh man, like I don't know if you remember the play where Buddy basically pulled Ramsey's face mask, and they didn't call a foul on the offense, and that I was just like, oh my gosh. And there was a play. This is where I thought it was very very interesting. There was a play where Donald had sacked Joe Burrow in the out of bounds. He shoved them like really hard out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, people were throwing punches at each other.
Oh, I did hear about that. I wasn't able to watch it, but I did hear about that.
Oh, okay. So let me tell you what happened. So Joe Burrow, obviously was scrambling. So he tried to run out of bounds. Donald chased him, and obviously he pursued him, and then he pushed him out of bounds. And then there was a huge scuffle between both teams. People was getting slapped in the helmet. People was grabbing each other. No flags whatsoever. So I was already on the assumption that if you're not going to call a flag on that, and you're not going to call a flag on the face mask, you're going to call a foul on 55 for holding. And I didn't see any grabbing the jersey. I didn't see any tug. I didn't see any pull, anything on the jersey. So I get why Bengal fans are upset. I completely understand, because where's the consistency of letting the guys play? If you're going to let the guys play, throughout the whole game, but then you're going to
Yeah,
interfere.
but you can't not call penalties.
Okay, that's fine, but you're going to call that where the game is on the line? Where you're going to call that? Like, I don't know if I agree with that one too much. I really can't. I wish you had seen it, so that way we would have had a much better. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, but I don't want to hear Cincinnati fans getting upset about losing the game. Like, you can lose the game, but don't put that on the referees. No, that's not on them.
I mean, we do that all the time. Like we if the referees interfered, they interfered.
Yeah, but that's not the reason why they lost.
Oh crap! Hang on. Let me fix this.
I mean, it's working.
No, it's not. It's not the Let me see. Yeah, it's not the right one.
Okay. All right. Well, now that when you want to, do you have anything else to say about the Super Bowl or no?
Yeah. Hang on. Yeah. Can you see this picture?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the one I was talking about. Like, okay. I mean, dude, usually this is
That looks like holding.
No. I don't think this is holding. They usually always allow the defender to at least put their hands on their back, or around their waist. Like they usually allow that all the time, as long as there's no tug and pull, or you don't alter his movements to where he's unable to make a catch. I didn't see any of that. I didn't see. I wish I could play the video because it's on Twitter. And I don't. No, trust me. I know we're not allowed to do it, but I really wish I could play it so you could see it. But this did not look like holding to me. It didn't look like holding to me, and I honestly feel like the referee should just continue to let them play like they did throughout the whole entire game. Again, if you're not even going to throw a flag for punching another opponent in the face, then I honestly don't want to hear anything about throwing penalties in this case, in my opinion, in this case. So, all right, let's get out of here. Hold on. Okay, go back to my.
All right. Well,
Right,
like I said, it was a good game. Now we're in.
No, I mean it was it was a good game. But I want to say this one last thing before we move on. This is the last thing I really want to say, because I have to say this. You don't care about it, but I have to say this now before I forget. This completely exposed the Detroit Lions.
Oh, come
to
on!
the
Like
T.
we know
Listen,
that. Like that
no,
team,
no, no, no.
that organization
Dude,
sucks. Like we know
look,
that. Like
dude, dude, they completely exposed the Detroit Lions, big time. I mean, that team is atrocious. A
they
complete
are. They're the worst franchise in football.
abysmal. Like and not only did that team finish 3-13. Not, let's forget about that. You had I know this is a long time ago, but you had a guy like Barry Sanders who retired early. You had a guy like Megatron who also retired early. And I'm saying to myself, what's the common denominator here? This should piss anybody off. Look, I hate to say this, they need new owners. That's what they need. They need new owners. They need to get rid of that Ford family. They need new,
That's not gonna happen.
brand new owners.
That's not
That's
gonna
what
happen.
that's what they need. That organization is a disgrace. How the hell are you going to be able to get rid of your quarterback to another team, and yet that team win the Super Bowl? They immediately won the Super Bowl. Let me tell you something right now. That team is atrocious. They need to get rid of those owners. They need brand new owners. That's what they need. That's what they need. And I'm not. I know it sounds like I'm pissed off about it, but like the Rams. I'm just saying, like, you just have to give that team credit. They hire a guy like McVay, whatever. I think it was 2016, 2017, whatever. They traded 2 first-round picks. They gave it to Jacksonville.
They built that team to win a Super Bowl.
Exactly. They got rid of their picks to get Jalen Ramsey. They traded what's his name? I forgot they traded. I forgot what pick that they traded, but they traded a couple of picks to get Von Miller. And obviously, they signed Joe Beckham Jr. And obviously they traded, Goff, for Stafford. Yeah, they're probably over the salary cap. I think it's like 10 or 12, 14 million over the salary cap. But they did everything right to make sure that they were a championship team. They did everything right as soon because they knew what they had a game plan. They had a game that Matthew Stafford looked amazing this whole entire season. Amazing.
I don't know if I go that far.
No, dude, that dude looked really good. When you put pieces around that dude, he obviously looked good.
He's better than Jared Goff, which was the entire point of trading for him. They needed someone. They needed a quarterback who was going to put them over the hump, and that was Matthew Stafford. And they knew they couldn't do that with Jared Goff.
Yeah, but look at Jared Goff now.
But yeah, he's part of a bad organization. Yeah. Yeah, he's in a bad organization. Like, it doesn't surprise me what happened to Jared Goff. Jared Goff wasn't that good to begin with, and now he's in that garbage organization, the Detroit Lions.
Garbage. Complete crap. Complete crap. But anyway, I guess we can finally move on now because I just want to say this one last thing that I really enjoyed the Super Bowl. Like, this whole entire season was amazing. I loved it. The playoffs, was fantastic. The Super Bowl was obviously, fantastic. And I'm definitely looking forward to, see more of, Stafford and obviously, Joe Burrow. Like, the only thing about Joe Burrow that I'm worried about is, dude, I don't think he'll be able to go to the Super Bowl next year. And I know that's, too early to say because, with drafts and trades and whatnot. But dude, like, you have freaking Mahomes to worry about. You have Herbert to worry about. You got Josh Allen to worry about. I mean, like, there's so many QBs that we have, in the AFC.
And you always got to be careful with this because, obviously Dan Marino got to the Super Bowl his second year. And, obviously they were up against a juggernaut in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I said, like everyone just assumed that he and that Dolphin team were going to get back, and they never got back.
Oh, that's a very good point.
Yeah, they never got back. So If your brawler sucks now, but hopefully your team can move. First thing first, they need to get an O line that can protect them.
Oh my gosh, dude, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yes,
they need an O line to
yes.
protect them because if he keeps taking these sacks, he's gonna get killed. He's
Yeah,
gonna
like
get killed.
I think he got sacked like what 13 times in the playoffs, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
And I
so
think they said like 40 or 50 times like in the regular season. Dude, that is freaking way too much.
yeah, so
That's unacceptable.
yeah, so it's like I said, like hopefully I mean hopefully to an extent. Obviously, I'm still cheering for the Dolphins, but like hopefully hopefully it's not the only time he gets there because I think he's good enough to get the team to make it to the you know I think he's good enough to have that team be great for a long time. So yeah, so all
Yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I really do hope that he'll be able to to get back. But when he got that last sack from Robinson, I think that was his fifth sack or fifth or sixth sack, whatever he got. Like once he got sacked and he started limping off the field, that should have waken up the offensive lineman. Like, wow, this is your fault. This is your fault. Like you can't let the guy constantly scramble, around the field so many times because they couldn't make any adjustments. Like when I don't know if you saw this play, but there was a play where where Donald, I forgot what happened, but basically they had a defensive lineman basically going one-on-one against the center. So the center could no longer double team Donald anymore. So it was constantly a one-on-one matchup, and they made no adjustments, to get that fixed. No adjustments. Then there was one time where Donald was going on the outside, and then he ran inside. No adjustments was made. Like it was like he was completely outcoached. Completely outcoached. So I think they need to do a much better job of getting a better offensive lineman. And Burrow should be fine. Now, granted, Stafford got sacked a lot too. I think his offensive lineman also needs work, but at the end of the day, though, they won. But both to me, both linemen sucked for both teams. Sucked. You can't have a quarterback get sacked 5 times and then you get another quarterback get sacked 6 times. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. But yeah, let me stop here because we have a lot of the other topics to talk about. But overall, I give this Super Bowl an A. I loved it, and unfortunately, you had to miss it.
I saw pretty much the second half.
Oh yeah, yeah. You said you were able to see it from your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Good.
All right. So what's up with the Nintendo Direct?
Oh, we're going to gaming now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with Nintendo Direct, like they had a few games that were. I wish I could play them, but
No,
I,
don't they have an article the stuff that was announced?
I don't have the article for that. I have.
I'll look for it.
All right, go ahead. And while you do that, I'm gonna try to freaking fix this camera.
All right. I mean, you can still talk about what happened. You said you watched it.
I saw like 80% of it. Like the one that I was really looking forward to was the new Zelda game and the new Kirby game.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Kirby one looks like it's going to be very, very different. Like they didn't change too much, but like they basically now it's up to like he could eat cars, and now he could turn into a car. I thought that was pretty cool, and it became kind of like as if you were in like you playing a driving game, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
To a degree. So it really changed the gameplay completely when you do that. So I thought that was very interesting.
I have to look at the trailer. I know Nintendo Gamer have been wanting me to look at the trailer. I still haven't gotten a chance to watch the full trailer of the Kirby game.
Well, that actually surprised me because I know you're a big fan of Kirby. So
Yeah, I know, but I don't have a Switch, so I don't know if I can. It's hard to watch something when it's on a console you're not interested in. So all right, so introduction, Super Mario Super Mario Advance 2. Okay, well,
Yeah, I saw that one.
so is that is that a new game, or is that something what is it?
It looked like a brand new Mario game to me because it didn't look it. I thought it was like a remake of one of the Mario games for the Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
But no, the game looked completely different, like completely different. Like, dude, I really want to see the trailer so bad, but I know we can't do it.
Right.
I
And
know
then
we
they have
can't.
Mario Kart 64 anniversary.
I don't think I remember seeing that one.
Okay. The worst Mario Kart game, by the way. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Anniversary.
No, I think I missed that one.
Okay. We play and what the fuck? What are we doing here? What are they doing here? Are they going to announce anything new?
Look. We play. I skipped that.
All right. So they talked about the Pokemon sales numbers.
I don't care about that.
All right. Pokemon Go Valentine event.
Nope, don't care about that.
Okay. This one I care about. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 7 Revenge character
Absolutely,
reveal.
absolutely.
I'm digging how the game is looking right now. Very much digging. And then Splinter, Master Splinter is going to be a character in the game.
I'm actually actually love the fact that they kind of kept like the old art style
Mm-hmm.
from the Super Nintendo version, but obviously it looks better. But I really do appreciate that they kept the traditional, the original Ninja Turtles art style from the.
And I also like the fact that they added extra characters as well. I do like the fact that it's not just the turtles. Like April, either or with April, but having Splinter there is great. And look, obviously the character that we all want to see is Casey Jones. I think
Absolutely.
yeah, he will be. I think he will be there before the game comes out. I do think that. So I'm excited about that game.
Yeah, I don't. I kind of still don't understand why April O'Neil is a character to choose from. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
that's like
yeah,
that's like
he's part of
saying
it. So
that's
he's
like
part of it.
saying that's like saying you have a Superman game and Lois is a character. Like, are you serious?
Yeah, I
Like,
get it. But
it
she
doesn't
is
make
part of
any
the lore.
sense.
She's an important part of the lore, so I
Yeah,
guess
no,
they
of course
would
she
have
is. I mean, of course she is. But so is Lois. But you're not gonna have Lois as a fighting character. Like it's
I
not. Yeah, I don't really. I wasn't really too fond of that. That didn't intrigue me at least a little bit because she was always one of those characters always constantly getting in trouble. So I mean, all right, it's fine, but just as long as we have Casey Jones,
Yes.
I'll be okay with it.
Yes, yes. All right. So next up was Octopath Traveler, Champions of the Continent. Have you ever played that game, Octopath Traveler?
No, I actually never played it.
All right. Then the official Nintendo Direct intro hits, and then first things up is Fire Emblem
Yeah,
Warriors.
I saw that one. I'm not impressed because look, you already have a Zelda game that does the whole Dynasty Warriors thing.
Oh, no, this is Fire Emblem. Oh, so this is Fire Emblem, but it's Dynasty Warriors.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Whatever. Irrelevant.
Yeah, like you already have a game that mimics Dynasty Warriors anyway. Why do you have Fire Emblem doing the same thing? Like why? Anyways.
Okay, look at the chat, all right? Look at the chat.
Okay, fine.
All right, and
even though he should have partake in the comment, but he wants us to go to the chat, which I told him not to do that.
I don't think he has a. Does he have a YouTube channel? I don't think he has a YouTube channel.
Nah, I'm pretty sure he does.
All right. Anyways, okay. All right. So we have Advanced Wars 1 and 2, the reboot.
You won't pay for a good phone.
No, my phone is fine. It's that the stupid update.
Oh, okay.
and he also confirmed that he doesn't have a YouTube channel. So
yeah, he could easily make one right now, but I know he's not going to.
Right. So they announced No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I saw that one too. I saw it. Look, obviously, it doesn't look nearly as good as the one for PlayStation.
Well,
But
I'm be real with you. The PlayStation one doesn't look as good as what it showed earlier, but that's
yeah, I saw No Man's Sky. Like, I'm trying to figure out why. Like, I'm not saying that it shouldn't be released on that console, but I mean, I don't think No Man's Sky has gotten any good reviews, even till
no,
this.
no, 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 no. The game is in much better shape than it was when it came out.
Because
It,
that. Okay, go ahead.
Because I was actually going to buy the game originally, and
Really?
then everything happened with the game as far as like and the funny thing is that I know a lot of people shit on Sean Murray and the development team. I have a hard time getting mad at them because this is not. I don't look at this as the same situation as something that would happen with EA, which we're going to be talking about later with Battlefield,
Mm-hmm.
or with like what happened recently with Cyberpunk, right? Sean Murray's studio was a small studio to begin with,
Okay.
right? And then I think they had a situation where their studio got flooded, right? And I think what happened was they got so that set them back. Well, ultimately, what happened was they were a studio that was too small to make a game as big as what they wanted to make it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I know they had all these ambitions about what they wanted to do. They were very vague on what they had all these ideas and plans that they wanted to do, but they couldn't do it because they're not a big studio. And I guess them and the team just got caught up in they just got caught up in their own BS. And I just don't look at it. I don't look at it as the same way. I just don't look at it as the same way. Now, obviously, them releasing it in that state is obviously bad,
Right.
but but they did what they had to do to fix the game, and the game's in much better shape. I don't know how it's gonna look on the Switch, but it's in much better shape than it was before.
Okay.
And now, if you want to try out the game, I would wait until you get reviews to see how the game runs, and then try the game out when you get a chance.
Okay.
All right. So next up, you have Mario Strikers Battle
Yeah.
League.
I saw that one. For some reason, my brother, he is like, so he already pre-ordered the game.
Okay.
He already pre-ordered the game. Like to me, the only good Mario Strikers that I've had a good time with was the first one for the GameCube. I don't know if you remember when I brought
Oh
it
yeah, I remember
over
we have
out.
fun with that game. Yeah, we have. I
Yeah,
have fun with that game. Yeah.
yeah, that was a very good Mario Strikers game. But
I'm sure this one's good too.
this one,
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure this one's good too.
would you play it?
I mean, I'm not gonna buy it, but if you guys have it, I'll play it. So,
Yeah, I thought that it looked good. It looked good. It looked good. I'm not gonna lie, it did look good. So yeah,
all right, and then we have Splatoon 3.
that one looked good too.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
that one
then
looked good. I know you're
front.
not. I know you're not interested.
No, I don't think it's a bad game. The game looks very tedious to me.
Tedious.
Yeah,
Why? Because the paint.
yeah.
Wait, hold on. You never said this. Why you feel that game is tedious?
I don't. It looks like a game that would annoy me very quickly. But I can't shit on it because, like I said, I always said that Nintendo needs to innovate in new IPs, and this is a new IP, so I can't hate on them for that.
I'm just trying to figure out. Don't you like how the game is completely different than all the other shooters? How you could,
Different don't mean good. Different don't mean I'm gonna be interested.
but it's good though. The game is good.
I mean, I'm sure for you guys it's good. I've never seen you play it, but yeah, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. Front Mission Remake. After that,
That one, I think it's a remake from the DS version.
Mhm.
So that look again, you know how much I like remakes. I love when games are being remade. I think games should obviously get a second chance, especially if it was a bad game. But the fact that this is a remake, like I would definitely give it a try. I would definitely give this one a try.
All right, and then next up you had Disney Speedstorm.
Yeah, I saw that one. That one look. Do I think it's going to be better than Mario Kart? Obviously not. But the game does look like it's really, really fun to play.
Oh, so it's a Mario Kart. So it's a kart racer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it looks like it's very fun to play. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be better than Mario, nor do I even think it's going to be better than the Sonic racing games.
Mm-hmm.
But I do. I mean, it is nice to finally see Disney, making games again. I don't know. I don't know who's making this game. I don't think it's a Disney studio because Disney don't freaking make games. Like they always usually have another company makes games for them, even though they have the money and the resource to do it. But Disney really don't make games. So I really want to find out who actually is developing this actual game. But I'm interested in it. I'm interested.
If I cared, I would look it up, but I don't care. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. That game's old. I don't know. I guess that's coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed: The Enzo Collection. That's very old, but whatever. SD Gundam Battle Alliance.
No, I do not remember seeing that one.
Let me look this up.
Oh, actually, I think I did. No, I think I did.
I'm actually gonna look this up because this may be the only Gundam that I actually care about. Let me see.
Since when did you care about Gundam?
There's only one. Series Gundam series that I actually liked.
The anime?
Yeah.
The Gundam Wing?
Is it Gundam Wing or was it SD Gundam? It was something like that. Let me see. Let me see if I can find the plot.
I liked the original one, the one with Hero, with Troa, and all the other guys. Like I really love the original Gundam Wing. Like Gundam, I remember back in the day, Gundam Wing would start right after Dragon Ball Z. It would be Dragon Ball Z, then Gundam Wing, and then I think it was Tenchi Muyo. Like it was just
Okay.
great.
Okay, because I do vaguely remember the Gundam that I liked. Right. The Gundam that I liked was when it wasn't like one of those like army type Gundam type shows, right? It was a Gundam where each it was kind of like the Gundam where like the conduits for each fighter. For each gun, it was like one guy represented each country. It was kind of like a Street Fighter type Gundam type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where you had each fighter had their own Gundam. They were from like different countries and stuff like that. I forgot what it's called. It's definitely not SD Gundam though. It's not that. It was something I forgot what it was called.
You sure it wasn't called Gundam Wing?
I don't remember. And then like our friend in the chat been gushing over Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition.
Yeah, Chrono Cross is I'm interested in that one.
Yeah. Okay. And then you Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Oh yeah,
A little bit earlier.
the MOB. Yes, I remember. I saw that one too.
Okay. I'm on Kirby right now. You know that, right?
Wait, you skipped it?
No, I was.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Because like I said, I haven't watched. I haven't seen too much of Kirby, but from basically everything I've been hearing, it seems cool. And then after that, you have MLB The Show 22. Right,
yeah. Whenever you get a chance, try looking up the Kirby one. I think you would definitely appreciate how they kind of go into a complete different direction. When it comes to that.
All right. Klonoa Fantasy Reviver series. I remember. I've heard about Klonoa. I've heard of it before.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But you're not interested though.
No. Portal, the companion collection, and then they have Live a Live. I don't know what that is.
No, I don't know.
Nintendo Switch Sports.
No.
All right, and Taiko no Tetsujin Rhythm Festival. I don't know what that is. Triangle Strategy Demo. And then they're coming out with the Cuphead DLC, the Delicious Last Course.
Yeah.
And then,
did you own the Cuphead game?
I have it on Xbox, but I suck at that game.
How far did you get to that game?
I think I got to the second world. I'm gonna get back to it.
Wait, hold on. Second world, and how many worlds they have in total?
I think they have 4, but there's levels in each world though. So there's I think there's probably like 6 or 7 levels in each world.
And you only got to the second world?
Yeah, I suck at that game. Man.
Oh my gosh! Well, I mean, they do say games like that you need like excellent eye coordination.
Yeah,
more
I don't.
more than anything.
Maybe when I was younger, I did. When I was younger, you know what? The thing is, that now this may sound like an excuse.
Here we go.
I think I would do better in that game if I was playing on a PlayStation.
What?
It Yeah, because the thing is, that those games I think I can only play on a D-pad, and the D-pad for that for to play that game, I feel like I would be more comfortable doing that on a PlayStation.
Why can't you use the D-pad on your Xbox?
I don't. It don't feel as comfortable. It don't
Hmm.
feel as comfortable.
Okay. All right. Let's move on.
All right. Then you have a Metroid Dread title update. Um, did it add anything new to this?
To the I can't I can't remember because I remember just glossing right through it because
Mhm.
I was like so tired when I was watching it. So
Okay. All right. Then you had Earthbound games coming to Switch online catalogs,
yeah.
and then they show like a Scissor World for third-party games, and then they're announcing a Mario Kart 8 booster course DLC.
Yep, that one I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be hyped for because
Now, is it the courses are all the courses from the OG Mario
yes,
Kart games?
yes,
I have to see a trailer to see how it looks.
yeah, it looks highly impressive, and I'm definitely going to be buying that game.
Don't you already have Mario Kart?
Mario Kart 8? No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about I'm talking about the DLC.
Oh, you're gonna buy the DLC. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, my bad, DLC.
All right, Xenoblade Chronicles 3,
Yep, that was gonna be good.
and then the last two are stuff I don't care about. Esports Gym of the Week in a podcast announcement. No one gives a shit about that.
Yeah.
All right, so there you have it with the event. I mean, did anything stand out to you before we move on?
No, the only thing that I was really interested in was the Kirby one was good. The what do you call it? The yeah, Xenoblade obviously, and like okay, like I appreciate that they finally making a huge open world Pokemon game, and because that's what I have been asking for ever since I was a kid. That since I was in high school, like I wanted to have a really good open world Pokemon game, which should have existed a long time ago.
Mhm.
So I really do want to give that one a try because I've been asking for it for years, and I need to give it a try. So yeah, that one too.
Okay. Okay. You know, yeah. At this point, I don't think there's anything that will get me to buy a Switch. But
Well, of course not. You didn't even watch the rec. So the fact that you didn't even bother even watching at least a couple of clips, that you're never interested in buying that console. You won't ever be interested in buying that console.
nah, I can't. No, I gotta try. I gotta try. I actually gotta try to buy a PS5.
You're not gonna find that console anywhere.
I mean, Brian has two, but I
How
don't.
did he? Oh, okay. He got two.
Yeah, I don't know how much he's gonna charge for them.
When did he announce that he had them?
He showed off a picture. He's like, "Oh, I have two."
And was it two? Did you see two?
Yeah, the two of them. I don't know how much he's gonna try to sell for it. I don't know how much he's gonna try to sell for it.
The fact that he got two, he's going to increase the price.
We'll see. We'll see.
Have you asked him yet?
I don't know.
Well, why not?
Because I'm trying to find. I'm trying to buy my own. I'm trying to find one of my own. I don't want to get price gouged by someone.
You don't trust them?
No, not about trust. I don't want to get price gouged.
Yeah, I mean, support your friend. If he's going to price gouge, let him price gouge, and you have him making extra money, and you have a console.
That's the dumbest thing you've ever said. That's saying something.
I'm just trying to just say something just to say something. I just think that
You need to start doing that.
I just want you to get the console,
No, I look. I'm gonna
And
get one. I'm gonna try to get one before Gran Turismo 7 comes out.
yeah, okay.
So all right. So all right. Well, since we're talking about Nintendo, let's talk about beat them. Pretty much trying to ruin someone's life. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
let's let me share this big news. Let's see. Share, because I am a little disappointed, but here we are.
I don't know if I go that far.
You're not disappointed?
Disappointed in them suing him.
Yeah.
I don't like. That's the thing. I don't know what he did though. That's the thing.
Oh, okay. So Gary Bowser pleads guilty to piracy charges after Nintendo's pursuit. Um. Okay. So, well, actually, let me just read it. So, Team Executor, I think that's how you say it.
Executor.
What? Yeah, Executor, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Was a hacking group that sold both software and hardware for stuff like Nintendo consoles.
This is why I don't feel bad for him.
Wait, hold on. But you were always the one. Well, I'm guilty of this too. But you were always the one that said that when companies don't give us what we want, and if a person does it for us, you always support that. And two,
Not he did
you
something
you
illegal.
you've been guilty of downloading games.
That's not what I'm talking about. He's trying to sell them.
Hmm. All right, let's continue. So, while arguing that they were simply advocating for homebrew programs and a consumer's right to repair their own property, gaming giants like Nintendo thought otherwise. Having pursued them for years, last year the Japanese gaming giant were joined in their efforts by the US government, who quickly launched a formal criminal investigation into 3 of the 12 men alleged to be operating the company. Here's how the Department of Justice describes their case against Team Executor. Oh my gosh! So they
And
actually,
you don't have to read that if you don't want to.
no, this is a lot to read. I
Yeah,
mean,
no, just don't
oh
bother.
my god! Like this is, but I'll read some of it and then that'll be it. So according to the documents, Team Executor report, criminal enterprise is comprised of over a dozen individual members located around the world. These members include developers who exploit vulnerabilities in video game consoles and design circumvention devices, website designers who create the various websites that promote the enterprise devices, suppliers who manufacture the devices, and resellers around the world who sell and distribute devices. The indictment alleges that due to the illegal nature of its business, Team Executor continuously sought to evade enforcement efforts by victim companies, financial institutions, and law enforcement. Notably, Team Executioner attempted to protect its overall business by using a wide variety of brands, websites, and distribution channels. According to, I mean, it's clear that they that they knew that they were going to get in trouble, but they tried to find every way to evade law enforcement.
Yeah.
Like they did everything that they possibly could to constantly run from these guys. Yeah, but let me tell you, like I thought it was very smart for them to constantly use different websites and things like that to basically not get tracked, I guess. But obviously you don't care about that.
Hmm.
From approximately June to 2013 through August 2020, Team Executor used a variety of product names for its devices, such as Gateway, 3DS, Stargate, True Blue, Mini, Classic, 2 Magic, and the SX line of devices that included the SX OS and SX Pro, the XS Lite. Have you heard of any of these?
Mm-mm.
Okay. And the SX Core. According to the indictment, Team Executioner at times clocked its illegal activity with a purported desire to support gaming enthusiasts who wanted to design their own video games for non-commercial use. However, the overwhelming demand and use of the enterprise devices was to play pirated video games. To support this legal activity, Team Executioner allegedly helped create and support online libraries for pirated video games for its customers. And several of the enterprise's devices came preloaded with numerous pirated video games. So it seemed like what they did was give you a whole load of games. Maybe I could be wrong, but similar to how it is with Steam or Netflix. You know, you have a whole bunch of games, to choose from, but they were all pirated games that they were selling to customers. Now, before we continue having though, you still believe that they deserve this at every.
Because some of the pirated games that they were, I think they were trying to pirate Switch games also.
Does it say that on here? Let me see.
I don't know if it says it, but like it does sound like a lot of what they're trying to do is trying to sell. Because Switch, the Switch is highly hackable, and
I did hear about that. I did hear about the
so like guy people can get Switch games for free basically. I don't know the process in doing it, but I know it can be done.
I'm pretty sure you have to be like real like tech savvy. I don't know if even Yoshi or Soul could do something like that. Maybe they can, but I think that's like
I'm
really.
I'm 100% sure Yoshi, Soul, probably even I think damn, what's the dude's name? I think Rudolph can do it too.
Well, he'll probably
At least they know about it. I mean, I'm not trying to, allegedly. You know what I mean? Like, I think they all can allegedly do it. I don't want to get them in trouble.
Well, Rodolphe might confirm in the chat if he actually knows how to do it. But all right, so it didn't take long to start making progress. 48 years old French national Max Lauren and 51-year-old Canadian man Gary Brazel were both arrested late last year with Bowser found in the Dominican Republic, extracted to the United States where he's being held since. So
He went to jail for it. Damn.
Dude, they were seriously searching for this dude, like as if he was a freaking like he like he was a freaking terrorist.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were like looking, for these guys. And now look, do I think they deserve, to go to jail after what they did? I mean, since you're selling, Nintendo's things, I can understand why Nintendo was like really trying to get to this guy, because I'm pretty sure he was making a crap total of a shit total of money. I mean, my bad for cursing, but a whole bunch of money selling all these products. I'm pretty sure he made a whole lot, and Nintendo obviously didn't get not 1 cent of it. But at the end of the day, though, this type of stuff, I'm pretty sure happens all the time, and I don't know what makes him any different than all the other people that's pirating and selling games, throughout the world.
They got caught. Yeah, they got caught. That's the difference. They got caught.
Oh my gosh, man. Look at the chat. Oh man, I guess you offended one of our friends.
Okay, I'm just not getting that.
Huh?
No, my bad, dude. My bad. I just forgot. It's been a long day, bro.
No. No excuse for that, man. No excuse for that. All right, yeah, I really don't want to keep reading. Let me just read this one last part. Imagine if something you invented was stolen from you and then marketed and sold to customers around the world. That is exactly what Team Executioner did. Was doing, says Raymond Duda, and of the FBI. This is a perfect example of why the FBI has made the prevention of theft of intellectual property a priority. These arrests should send a message to would be pirates that the FBI does not consider these crimes to be a game. Now, if you want to, use these guys as an example and, give them, severe punishment because of, what they did, I could understand that, and I could understand why the FBI, got involved because it seems to me that these people was just making countless, amounts of money. Because like we saw all the games that they were making, or the devices that they were making, and if you're right that they were selling, even Switch games, to people, and they're having all these different websites, whether it's they're using these websites not to get caught, or using a variety of websites so that people could, go to and, purchase, all these games. I mean, it's a very excellent strategic strategy that they used, to sell, Nintendo's property. Now, if they're selling, Wii games, then obviously they deserve,
No,
this
they
amount
shouldn't
of
be.
money.
They shouldn't be selling any. That's where they effed up at. Trying to sell. If they were selling games, that's dumb. That's not what you. You're not supposed to do that.
Now, here's the thing: if they were selling, would you have been okay if they were selling Nintendo Super
No,
Nintendo games?
no, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like here's my stance on emulation. Right. If you are going to my problem with Nintendo is not about them going after. It's not about them protecting their intellectual property. I get why they're doing what they're doing.
Okay.
The problem is that you have a library of games, right, on the system that's not that on your old system that you're not making the consoles for, and you're not making the games for, right? And as long as those things aren't being sold, there is no reason why you should try to destroy emulation. Because what you're essentially doing is that you're destroying and you're removing gaming history. And we know how greedy you guys are when it comes to trying to do these online remakes. The bullshit that you're doing right now with all those games that you're charging people online fees to go and play. I get it. But there's a lot of games on there that are gonna get lost in history if you keep trying to destroy emulation. That's not like the problem with these guys that they try to sell the stuff. I don't know if they're trying to sell games or the product or whatever. They're trying to make a monetary profit off of it, and that's not what you're supposed to do. Because I think that is their property.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're gonna have the games there, if you're gonna have the entire library there, not altered or nothing like that, even if it's a little bit altered, if you're going to offer the library of games that they're not making anymore, I don't have a problem with that. But it's when you start trying to sell it is when I have a problem with, or at least not necessarily have a problem with, but it's like I'm not you're asking for trouble. You're 100% asking for trouble, and that's what these guys were doing, and they got caught.
Well, I don't feel sorry for Nintendo whatsoever, because if you have all these games like you said that they do, and if people are still asking for them, but
But
yet you don't want
I'm not.
to
But I'm
deliver
not.
it.
I'm not even talking about. I'm not talking about their games. I like their games. I get their games. The problem is that you have so many games that are made by Capcom, Konami, and all these other companies that don't exist anymore. The trail of who owns this property, who owns that property, may not even exist anymore. All it is just a library of games that existed when this console was out. If you're trying to delete all of that just so you can protect your property, to me that's bullshit. To me that's greed, in my opinion. Because and remember, he even said it in the beginning when it came to. I remember when I first got into emulation. It
Mm-hmm.
was listen, I'm not gonna sit there and act like I was innocent in this. Like they said that the one key rule that I remember is that you had to own the cartridge in order to download the game. Like why would I fucking do that? If I own the cartridge, then I'm gonna play on the cartridge.
But how would they be able to identify that you have the cartridge?
No, I don't know. I have no idea. But the thing is, but here's the thing. Ultimately, what emulation was to me was an insight into the into gaming history. That's what it was. Being able to discover games that either you had no access to playing, or games you forgot to play when it came out. And to try to do everything in your power, like Nintendo tried to do, to eliminate that, to me, that's BS.
Well, but see, all right. Remember what was that? What was that game that you and I played back in the day? Well, not a few years ago. At your house, the one that really imitated Street Fighter.
Fighter's History.
Okay, do you remember what company made that game?
I think it was Data East. I think.
Where are they now?
I have no idea.
Where's the property?
I have no idea.
Oh, do you see why people want? Do you see why people want to download emulation and play those games? Because those games aren't even being made anymore, and we don't even know who owns the property. We don't even know who owns the property. If somebody decided to take that game and sell it, and whoever has that property wants to sue them, I call BS on that too. I call BS on that because why you're not doing anything with the property.
Is their property? Is there intellectual property?
But then don't sit here and tell me that you support emulation then, because
emulation not supposed to be sold. You're not supposed to, like, that's not selling these stuff was not supposed to be part of the deal.
Okay, but when you download an emulation a game, let's say you go on the computer, you download a game, right? And you get to play the game. Let's say I do the same thing. Let's say Soul does the same thing. Let's say Yoshi does the same thing. Millions of people are doing the exact same thing. The company that made that game doesn't get no profit from any of us, correct?
Okay.
Yeah, they're not making any money anyway.
Yeah, but they're not actively selling. They're not actively selling that product either. But they're not actively selling the product either. But if someone's going to try to make money off of their property, yeah, that I can understand being upset about that.
If they are not going to do anything with that property, why the hell are you upset that people are selling it then? If you're not going to do anything with it,
wait, you're not making any sense. You're not making any sense. Look,
you're not even understanding the question.
No. I know the question, but
no, you don't. You're not. If you have a video game that you want absolutely nothing to do with, it just sitting on a shelf, figuratively speaking, collecting dust. Now you want to get upset that someone's making money off of it? Get out of my face with that crap, man.
Let me put it in terms that you may understand. All right. Now, let's say that I have something in my house that I don't want, right? What you're essentially saying is okay is if someone takes that item that I don't want, takes it from me without telling me, and then sells it for a profit. Why would I be okay with that?
Because you don't want it.
Okay, that's fine if I don't want it, but I don't want you taking my stuff and selling it for a profit.
If
that's
you don't want it,
that's money that I could have made if I had known.
No. That's BS. That company right now. Look. And okay, if we had to guess, how many video games right now that are no longer being made, that because whether if it's because the company filed for bankruptcy, whether if it's the company was bought from another company, whatever the reason is, they just completely stop making the game, they completely stop supporting the game. Don't get upset with other people that takes your game and decide to make a profit out of it when you decide not to do nothing with it. If somebody took something that you do not want, I don't understand why you get upset over it. You don't want it.
Let's imagine if I let you hold the Xbox, right? If I let you hold the Xbox. No. Okay. Let me try to put it to you in a way that
the difference is because you want the Xbox back. That's
no. Let me put it to you in something like that. If I told you that I didn't want the Xbox anymore, right? If I told you I didn't want the Xbox anymore, you come to my house, You take it from me without telling me, and then you sell it without my permission.
No, but you already gave
And
it to them.
you make a profit. If you make a profit off of it, despite the fact that you took something that's not yours, you took it without me knowing, and you sold it without me knowing. Yeah, I'm gonna be pissed off about that.
Even though you already given it to me and said you didn't want it.
I didn't. No, that wasn't part of the scenario. I said that you took it from me.
No, you
I
said
didn't-
no. You said the Xbox that you let me
No, I
let
then
me
I
borrow.
then I changed it,
If
and
you
I told
if you
and
if
I
I
said,
borrowed it from you and you said
no,
you don't want it anymore,
That's different. 'Cause there's no scenario. There's no scenario where that exists in this case. Nintendo's not gonna let you borrow the intellectual property.
no. But I thought that's what you were saying. Just
No.
for
But no,
okay.
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to fix it.
Oh, okay.
It's a situation where if you took my Xbox without telling me, you took my. I told you I don't want it anymore. I told you that. I told you I don't want it anymore, but you took it without telling me, and then selling it without telling me, and making a profit off of my property without telling me. Yeah, I'm gonna be upset about that. And I don't blame Nintendo for being upset over them selling the property. All I'm saying is that when it comes to emulation, all it's there to do is to present the games as they were when the games were coming out, without trying to sell them. Either here's a game right here, download the game, you play the game. That's it. And I get it that even a company like Nintendo they can still look at that as stealing. I get it. But to me, if you're going to preserve gaming history, that's the best way to do it.
Emulation.
That's the best way to do it. Yeah, emulation. That's the best way to do it. Without trying to sell it or anything like that.
Yeah, but even with emulation, Nintendo doesn't want that either.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't. Yeah, I know they don't. And that's what I have a problem with them doing that.
Yeah, because don't you remember when people were making those was making these mods of the Mario games?
Mm-hmm.
It was extremely hard, Mario games.
Yeah, they shut it down and they decided, oh, we're gonna make our own.
Exactly, they shut that down, and I don't even think those people was making the profit out of those games anyway. They weren't selling those games. They wasn't selling those Mario games.
Yeah, I don't think they were. But
yeah, and Nintendo shut them down anyway.
Yeah.
They shut
them
down.
That's a little different than what I'm talking about, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, they shut them down. For me, here's my thing. Do I think it's wrong at the end of the day? Yes, it's obviously wrong. It's obviously a sin. You should not be stealing anything from anybody. And yes, I agree with you that if you told me that you don't want your Xbox anymore, or if you don't want your PlayStation anymore, and someone goes and take it from your house, even though you say you didn't want it anymore, yeah, that would, it's about respect. It's principle. I get it. Trust me, I do. But will I feel sorry for, Nintendo if somebody took advantage of their games that they're no longer producing anymore, that people demand that they want? And if somebody else wants to do it their way, yeah, I don't feel sorry for Nintendo. I don't. Yes, it's their property. Yes, the games belong to them. But we have been asking years that we want these games. And Nintendo's not stupid. You're not stupid. They know for a fact, I guarantee you, they know for a fact that these games are in still high demand. Why? Because people are still downloading those games through emulation anyway. They know this. So why? So knowing that, give us the games that we want. Give us the games that we want, and that goes for every company. That goes for Xbox. That goes for PlayStation. That goes for everybody. That goes for everybody. There's all these games that are lost in history, like you said. We have all these games where companies decided to file for bankruptcy, where companies decide just not to make games anymore, like AKA like freaking Sony. Like we've been asking for people have been asking for another Jack and Dexter game. They haven't made it, and I would not feel sorry for them if somebody took Jack and Dexter and sold it themselves. Is it wrong? Yes, but would I feel sorry for Sony? No, because we've been asking for that game for forever. So at the end of the day, I don't feel sorry for Nintendo. I don't. Do I think that they should seek justice? Fine. But I don't feel bad for them. Serves them right, because we've been asking for these games and then you haven't delivered them to us. So that's my full take on it. But I agree with you though. I do concur with you 100%, because it's still wrong at the end of the day. It's still stealing.
Yeah, I mean, to me, my thing is this, right? Obviously, when it comes to what they're trying to do, I get what they're doing. My problem is that they're trying to destroy all emulation, and not all emulation, in my opinion, is stealing. Because, like I said, if you want to protect your properties, fine. But there's tons of games in the Super Nintendo library, or a Game Boy Advance library, or any of their libraries, right? Where the console that they make them for are no longer available, readily available,
Yeah.
and those games do get lost in the case of history due to property, for whatever reason they get lost in history. And for someone to really have a full appreciation of what gaming is about, where it came from, I do think that emulation is important in that. It could be just me being it's just maybe like one of those arguments where that's more about principle than reality. I'm sure it is. But to me, is how I is why I love gaming the way I do, because I was able to experience not only gaming from not only from from Nintendo, which I didn't have. I didn't own a Nintendo.
Yeah, I
You
me
know,
neither.
you know what I mean? I was just a little bit too early to own a Nintendo, right?
Yeah, I was
But
too young also.
being able to discover games on on the Super Nintendo when I didn't have the money to buy every game available. You know what I mean? You discover games, especially games that only came out in Japan. Like, you have a better appreciation of what gaming is about.
Yeah.
At least I learned that through emulation. I learned that through emulation. Now they have different ways. Now you can do that with YouTube documentaries and stuff like that. But personally, I think discovering games is the best way to discover games is through emulation. I think, and as long as that way of emulate, at least as long as the emulation not being abused, then I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with it.
I'm actually
These these,
surprised. Go ahead. Go ahead.
these dudes abused it, obviously, and I'm sure they were trying to sell some Switch games also. These guys abused it, but in its purest form, emulation to me is the best way to discover games, to discover gaming history, in my opinion.
Okay, but I remember because we talked about this, a while back before when it comes to old games getting lost, or games that we wish that would get revived.
Mhm.
But do you believe that these gaming companies, not just Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, but like even the third party companies, do you think that it should be their responsibility or their obligation to continue to provide old games?
Honestly, it depends on each company. It depends on each company. Like when it comes to like something like Capcom, or not Capcom, Konami, what the fuck are they making? They ain't making nothing. They're not. I mean, to my knowledge, they're not making a Castlevania game. We don't know what property they own, and a lot of their old games are based on property that they don't own anymore. So they can't make another Turtles game because they don't own that property.
They don't own Ninja Turtles anymore.
No,
I thought they owned the gaming rights because I know no, don't they?
I don't think so.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty
No,
sure it
no, I
was
I could
expired by
have
now.
Warner. I thought Warner Brothers did.
No, it's another company. Like another company owns Ninja Turtles. Crap, I forgot what their name is because I have I have a lot of their comic books. I got Ninja Turtles comic books. It's a different company. I forgot what it is. Like they did partner with Warner Brothers, um so that the Batman could go into their universe. Like there was crossover between Batman and Ninja Turtles in one of the comics. I bought that comic.
I put the. I guess I'll share this. I put in
Let me exit here.
yeah, I put in the question, who owns Ninja Turtles, and this is what Google gave me.
Yeah, it's a weird name. Yeah. That's
Viacom.
it. Yeah.
That's Viacom.
Mm-hmm.
CBS Viacom, which I believe is Viacom. If I'm not mistaken, Viacom is. I know they don't. They have something to do with. I could have sworn it had something to do with Warner Brothers.
I don't think so.
Let's see. Okay, so Viacom, they own properties like Paramount, CBS, CW, um, they own MVP, MTV, Nickelodeon, BET, Comedy Central, and Showtime.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you look at all the you know look at all the show you remember all the shows, the DC shows are all on Paramount, and they're all on CW. I wonder if Warner Brothers is part of this. I wonder if Warner Brothers is part of this. Let
Yeah,
me look.
it would have told us by now.
Yeah, that's true. Let me.
Yeah, I think they're two different companies.
Let me see. All right, so AT&T owns Warner Brothers, huh? I guess. But yeah, but ultimately, like my stance on it is the same. Like I believe in emulation. I do believe that emulation is the purest form of understanding your gaming history.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that Nintendo trying to destroy it, even though I get the idea of what they're doing. I get they're trying to protect their. I get they're trying to protect their property. I get it, but to do that by trying to destroy emulation to me is wrong.
Yeah, because it like that helps for exposure when you have old games that people, because if you're not going to provide these games to the public, what's the sense of you getting all upset if people are able to emulate the games? Like if they could download the games and play it for their own personal entertainment, I don't see why Nintendo would try to detest that. Why try to prevent people from downloading these games if you're not going to provide them for us anyway? It doesn't make any sense. Now, if you're worried about, oh well, if we should be able to to make money off of it, I mean, like that's really up to you. That's really up to Nintendo if they want to make money off of it. But at the end of the day, though, when it comes to the Nintendo games, the Super Nintendo, 64, and so on and so forth, if you are not going to give us these games, and if we find some other way to get them, then like it is what it is. Don't punish us because you don't want to give us the games. Don't punish us for that. Don't punish us. We found a way to play the game, so let just let it be. You know what I mean? So I get what you're saying. Now, one last thing. Don't forget when we played at your house, when one of our friends had the Xbox, he downloaded all the Super Nintendo games and Sega games and whatnot. Um, what was I going to say? Yeah, all of those things that all of those games that he had, a lot of people, whether if it was on their Xbox or on their hard drives, on their PC and whatnot. I don't think Nintendo should get upset over people downloading games as long as they don't make a profit out of it. If they don't make a profit out of it, then I don't think Nintendo should have anything to worry about. Now, here's one last thing I want to say. If their intention was to make money off of those properties, off of those video games, then I get it. Like I 100% understand, where they're coming from. But the thing is, though, a lot of like for example, like, do you have the Super Nintendo Classic?
No,
You only have the
I
PlayStation.
yeah, I couldn't find one.
You only have the PlayStation Classic, right?
Yeah,
All right. Are you still downloading games for it?
no,
What was the last game you downloaded for that game? I mean, for that
it was like this 2000 Japanese fighting game.
2000 Japanese. What game was that?
I have no idea what it's called, but it's very weird looking. It has the same art style as at Jet Set Radio, but it's a fighting game.
Oh, okay. I will. Is it good?
I haven't played it yet.
And I'm pretty sure you downloaded that game months ago. But
Yeah, years ago.
oh my gosh. But okay, like you doing that with the classic, our friend doing that with the Xbox, people doing that with with their PC. You could even do that with your phone. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you knew that, but you could do that with your phone. Like they have ROMs and emulation, whatever you call it, on the phone where you could download these games. Like there are ways that you could do it. Like I remember I was doing it with my old phone. The thing is that the problem, like again, the problem that I have is if you are able to do that, and if these companies are not going to provide or make production of those games anymore, let us do what we want. Because at the end of the day, people do that with music and movies and TV shows anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to have access to movies and music than it is, with video games. And I don't think video games should be the exception to that rule. I really don't. Unless there's a way how we could have some type of service similar to either Netflix or similar to Pandora or Spotify, to where we could listen to all these musics and we could watch all these movies. If there's a way that they could do that with video games, I'm all for it, and I'll gladly pay a subscription for it. But until they figure out a way to do that, if there's a way that we could download these games and play it for free, then I'm all for it. Don't get upset until you figure out a way, in my opinion.
All right. All right. Well, that's it for that topic. All right. So
How many more do we have?
next up, hmm?
How many more do we have?
Two more. Two more. The Battlefield and then the Harden Simmons trade. Um, I, man, you want to know why I hate EA? It's because stuff like this, right? They take and and not only EA, Ubisoft does the same thing. Take Two is starting to do that with GTA. They take franchises that we love and they run it and they destroy it. Because what they do, and I was watching a video on this yesterday. And the guy who made the video made a very good observation. And every company that I mentioned does this. They take the game that we all love, that we grew up loving,
Mm-hmm.
and they tried to change it to chase trends, right? Whether it's microtransactions, whether it's NFTs or whatever, whether it's what else is there?
Something boxes.
Loot boxes,
Loot boxes. Yeah.
whether it's battle royale. They try to chase trends instead of trying to make the game better, trying to improve on the formula that already works.
Yeah.
And they did the same thing with Battlefield. I think you have the article for the Battlefield one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you could pop that up, and then I'll continue talking. I was looking forward to this game. I was looking forward to it. Now I'm not this huge Battlefield guy, but I like the first Battlefield game I think I played was 3. The first one I ever owned was 4.
Mm-hmm.
And 4, obviously launched bad. It launched bad. But the game is fantastic. I love that. For at one time, it was my favorite first-person shooter out there.
Oh, really? More than Call of Duty?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. At one point, and then obviously playing Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 was a phenomenal game. To me, I would say that was my favorite first-person shooter of that generation, of last generation.
Battlefield 1.
hmm
Okay.
I would say it's my favorite one, followed by Modern Warfare. I like Modern Warfare a lot, but yeah. But then ever since then, like I said, Battlefield 5 um came out, didn't do well, and this game 2042 was 2042, which is supposed to be a return to form, just fucking disaster. Yeah, you can read the article if you want.
Did you like Battlefield 3 and 4?
Yeah, I still own 4.
Oh, you still own 4?
Yeah.
Okay. But did it have any problems at launch?
I mean, 4 had lots of problems at launch, but they fixed it, and the game it's a good game. Like it feels like a Battlefield game.
Okay. Well, let before I'm gonna give you my piece. But let's read this real quick. So obviously you see it says more than 160,000 Battlefield 2042 players signed petition asking for their money back. and look, okay, like before I start reading, this is what I've been trying to tell you since last gen. This is just one of the reasons why I did not support last generation, because of stuff like this.
Let me read a couple comments. Hold on a second. We have someone in the comment section, Nelly Neutral. Thank you for watching. He said that Elden Ring is gonna eat Horizon alive. I don't know why that's relevant to me. And then he said that Sony Funna to Studio Ben GG after that 88 Metascore. I don't know what that means either. So if you're I guess you're referring to Horizon Zero Dawn getting an 88 on Metacritic.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Please tell me you read it and you could explain why.
There's nothing to read. Like 88 is a great score. There's nothing to read.
I guess I'm just surprised because that game had, especially the last one, had gotten so much praise and acclaim that I expected like a freaking 90 or more when it comes to that. But all right, but since you're not going all crazy over it, then
there's nothing to go crazy over it. And 88 is a great score. And ultimately the only score that matters is my own. That's all I care about. At the end of the day. Like I don't care what Metacritic says, but if a game interests me, I'm gonna play it.
Okay. So here,
thank you for watching, Nelly.
Yeah, Nelly, appreciate you watching, man. But like I was saying, this is one of the reasons why I decided not to partake in the last generation. Whether it was because I was pissed off that you had to be online, whether if it's games no longer pop in and play, microtransactions, games being incomplete, and so on and so on. And it continues to go on in this generation. But look what it says. So it says Battlefield 2042 is having a really messy launch. Now, as it becomes clear that fixes for Battlefield 2042 aren't coming anytime soon, more than 150,000 players have signed a change.org petition asking Electronic Arts to offer refunds to all players on all platforms. Serves them right. The platform, simply titled Allow Refunds for Battlefield 2042 on all platforms, started roughly 4 weeks ago and didn't get much attention, but in the last few days, thousands of players have signed on. Most likely, many of these new folks are signing the petition for refunds after EA and DICE announced a series of delays for both big and small Battlefield 2042 content updates. According to EA, Battlefield 2042 won't receive any new content until summer. What?
It's so stupid.
Like, what? Like, don't they realize we're still in the winter season and not until the summer?
That game is bare bone as it gets, and that's how you're going to respond.
Oh, for goodness sakes, man! All right, about 6 months after the game released, updates to add things like voice chat and scoreboard have also been delayed. You could voice chat. Like, shouldn't voice chat even be like a default?
I have something to say about that, but Nelly is on the comment. He said that Gran Turismo 7 is gonna be fire though. That's true. That's why I'm buying a PS5 for it. And he said that, and I'm assuming he said that I like your guys' podcast. Thank you for the compliment, sir. Thank you
Yeah,
for
I appreciate that. I really appreciate it.
now. Okay, so let me mention this about the scoreboard, right?
Yes.
Whoever the guy. Okay, I forgot the guy's name who was the lead for this game. Whoever the lead for this game needs to be fired. He needs to be fired. How could you? And I saw this when people were watching the game early, were playing the game early.
Mm-hmm.
They had no idea how to pop up the scoreboard.
You
They had
win.
they had no
What?
what fucking game? What fucking online game can you think of? Because the voice chat thing is dumb. It shouldn't. That's not excuse. That's no excuse either. But some games had that. Some game has launched with that without that before. It's not good. It's not right. But that's happened before.
Okay.
How is it that why can't people access the goddamn scoreboard? Excuse my language.
Yeah.
Why can't people access the scoreboard?
Like it's a common thing to have throughout all games.
Exactly. And it's the way that they designed this fucking they designed this fucking game. They designed this game to be a casual cash grab in the same vein as Fortnite. Right? That's what they did. That's what they did with this game. Instead of having a formula that works, everybody was excited about this game. And we're like, okay, we're gonna go back to modern weapons. We're gonna go back to battling in cities and stuff like that. They showed off some cool environments and stuff like that. And then everything that I'm looking at when it comes to videos, everything looks like a downgrade. Everything.
Jeez, man.
Everything looks like a downgrade. The environmental damage looks like a downgrade in certain areas. Right? The weapons recoil. I can't I don't know if they patched this, but when the game first came out, you could be pointing at someone straight at them, and the gun will do everything in their power not to hit them with the bullet. Crazy.
Oh my gosh. You can't be serious. You mean like at point blank?
Point blank. And I'm looking at how the recoil of the gun is going. Like it's just going all over the place. It's going like the gun normally goes up. And every gun's recoil goes up.
Yes.
And it's like I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like yes, stuff like that is is inexcusable. And you have I understand that the developers that there's a deadline that you have to meet. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I really do. But there is absolutely no way in hell that you could tell me that this game is finished. Like you actually going to isn't this game $70?
Yeah, with no campaign.
And there's no campaign.
And here's the thing, right? If you're not gonna have a campaign, you better make sure that multiplayer is full of content.
And full operational.
Yeah. Yeah, it needs to be full of content. Let me read some more stuff from Nelly. He said, to be honest, Battlefield was supposed to be different. The game they were working on got canceled, and they only had pretty much 18 months to get the game out per EA management. And then he said that's why Battlefield 2042 is the way it is. There's an article exposing all of this. Can you, if you have a chance, can you just put the article in the chat so I can pop it up? And he said that to blame EA, not DICE. That part I understand, because to me EA is the reason why this is where they're at. But when it comes to DICE, he said it's just a hot turd. I agree. To me, like here's the thing with DICE, right? Like like we all know EA they're a shit company. We all know that, right? And maybe they're the one that decided that they made all the decisions about chasing trends and stuff like that. But to me, that the recoil thing, that's not on EA. The recoil thing, that's not on EA. Some of the decisions that they made when it comes to animation that I've seen, some animation that they showed, that's not on EA. That may be on maybe like not having enough time to flesh everything out. But like there's certain things that they did with this game that I can't blame EA on. And that's purely on the gameplay side. I can't blame EA for that. Everything else, like the deadlines, I could blame EA. Them trying to turn this game into fucking Fortnite, I can definitely blame EA for that. Like there's certain aspects of this game that just don't are not desirable. It's not Battlefield.
Yeah.
It's not Battlefield. Like you have like at the end of the game, right? Like I guess if you win, the character will have like these quotes and sayings that they say, and it's like what the fuck? Like that's not Battlefield. That's not Battlefield, man. Like that's Fortnite bullshit right there.
Yeah, like what irritates me so much is when companies, or I should say developers, yeah, and publishers, when they try to emulate, copy, imitate, other video games, you're compromising the original identity. And I can't support stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we throughout history, like, you saw how pissed off I was, when it came to the Resident Evil, when they tried to imitate Gears of War. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now you're seeing the same thing here. And there's plenty of other examples.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember the time where everybody was trying to freaking copy Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, and it was like yo, like, stick with your original identity, because when you try to copy another company, and you don't do it well, you basically you're already on the verge of ruining your own franchise, just because you want to imitate somebody else. Like look, and I understand how there's a saying that says that you copy the master, or you try to emulate like the best player, and whatnot. Trust me, I get that. I get it. But if it's not broken, don't fix it, because you're already seeing success. To me, before this game came out, anybody would probably say that Battlefield has already been a fantastic franchise, a very good success. During the past. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
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 So
and the funny thing about Battlefield. No, go ahead.
Yeah. So what's the problem? What's the problem? Your product is already working. It works. The formula that you're using already right now works. So
look,
why? Go ahead.
They did Dice and EA, right? They already made steps to compete with Call of Duty. Because remember, back in the day, Call of Duty wasn't what Call of Duty is now.
Yeah.
They when it was on PC, it was hardcore. It was it wasn't what Call of Duty became with 4, right? Battlefield was kind of the same way, even though when they took it from PC to console, it was more in line with what Battlefield is. But even when they went to console, they had to kind of like put it in a formula that was familiar with Call of Duty players, right? Because when I first time I ever played Battlefield 3, I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the UI. I didn't understand anything. I learned. Why? Because the game was fun. The game was fun, right? And to me, I don't mind them borrowing from other games. I don't mind that. The problem is that now you have what you're doing now. You're not taking you're taking things from other games while disregarding what makes the game popular in the first place.
Exactly.
Right, and then let me read this from Nelly. Right, he said that the 30-minute video link, because this is from the snippet of the article. Right, he said that link above pretty much recounts how Battlefield 2042 development started with EA asking DICE to copy what's popular, which at the time was Battle Royale games. I can definitely see that happening, right? And Nelly said that because the mega publishers, Activision, EA, Ubisoft, they make games not for the consumer, but around the shareholders maximizing profit, not enjoyment in the player. And he's right about that.
Oh my
He's
god.
100% right about that because they're like that's the thing with EA, like with E3, right? Everyone thinks that E3 is for us. No, it's for shareholders. That's who it's for. It's for them. And I think all of us kind of know that, but at least give us something that we like. But he's showing like this is what happens when big corporations get involved in gaming. This is what happens because at the end of the day we become secondary. We become secondary.
Yeah, and you could tell. Like I remember, I can't remember if it was you or one of our friends in the chat, where you could tell when these companies, these developers, actually put their hard work and their passion and their enjoyment of making these games. Like
And a lot and a lot of times I don't think they're allowed to do that anymore.
yeah,
They're not allowed. They say, well, we have to make sure that this game meets a certain standard for our shareholders.
and I really need to do some more homework when it comes to the investors and the shareholders and all that. Like you mean to tell me that this is worth it? You mean to tell me that people now asking for their money back? Like how does that make it? How does that make it any good for you as a shareholder? Now, unless it
I don't
isn't.
think they care. They don't care. They don't care, man. As long as their shares are good, they're fine.
Yeah, but I don't like. I don't think this is not good. To have for a successful future. That mean like you had to at least take into account with that. If people are upset now, if people going to be asking for their money, for their money back now.
Well, I mean, what's going on right now with this game is not good. Obviously, it's not
Yeah,
good. But like to me, I just think that they make like Nelly said, they make games they make games for shareholders. They don't make games for us. They don't. Like they would much rather they would much rather make a game that's profitable than a game that's fun for the player that grew up playing Battlefield. That's just how it is. If Battlefield players like it, that's fine. But if more Battlefield players leave, but the Fortnite crowd comes in, or the battle royale crowd comes in, they're fine.
Hmm. Well, let me read this one last bit. So, um, as of Friday afternoon, the petition has made more than 160,000 signatures. Now, like, see, dude, I'm sorry, that's a huge number. That's a huge, numbers of signatures. Which so clearly, when you have when you have 160,000 people feeling the same way, about this game, like you idiot EA, you better start paying attention. Like, all right, let me read on. So, which according to change.org, representatives makes it one of the biggest and most popular petitions of the year. Like, that's an embarrassment, man. Like
Yeah.
that is a complete total embarrassment where you make a product, a good franchise at that, where it's competing against Call of Duty, one of the two biggest franchises, right now till this day, competing with Call of Duty, and you mean to tell me that you have all these people winning their money back? Like, dude. All right, I don't want
They,
to
they,
start.
had, they, had their, they had their chance too. Like, let me read this from Nelly, right? He said, good news is the quarterly financial reports that at MTX, which I think is microtransaction and DLC, are the lion's share of profits. Activision, oh, my bad. Activision just had their most profitable year off of microtransactions alone. And he said that it doesn't matter how many SIGs happen. Opening week, Battlefield sold 4.2 million copies. I didn't know it sold that much.
I didn't know that either.
And if you lose, if let's say if you get, let's say if all those people who signed got a refund, that's still what 4 million copies sold. I think that the bad relations to this game is gonna have a rippling effect.
I think so too.
I do think so. Cause cause you look at Cyberpunk, right?
Oh my gosh, dude.
Cyberpunk made a lot of money. Cyberpunk made a lot of money, but the problem is that the damaging reputation of that studio is gonna have a rippling effect, in my opinion.
Dude, do you remember all the crap that we was talking about that game in the chat? And then there was just bad news after bad news, like all over freaking Twitter, all over YouTube. People were just hammering that game, showing
Yeah,
you all the different glitches that they had. Like,
and I do think that the same thing can happen with Battlefield. Like I don't think this is a good thing, even though I know it's so like you said. Thank you for the news about the 4.2 million. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know if this is good for them because again, this is coming off of off of Battlefield 5. Battlefield 5 was not a success for them as like reputation. It wasn't a success for them.
hmm.
And he said if you guys really look at Dice's track record lately, what game have been able to release on time that hasn't been broken or microtransactions to heck. Yeah, he's right about that. Like like when you look at all four games, like when I talk about when EA had the opportunity, right?
Yeah.
They had like Call of Duty when it comes to Vanguard, they had their issues, right? Halo right now, dude, that game's not doing well. Halo's not doing well.
You mean Halo Infinite?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that doing well as far as what? It's like sales?
As far as reputation.
Oh, okay.
Like people are constantly bitching about that game every single day. And EA had their opportunity to make this game right. They had the opportunity. They had their opportunity, but they decided to, they decided we had to chase trends. We had to chase trends and stuff like that. And this is what happens. This is what happens.
Now look here's this is going to aggravate me. So it says neither EA or Dice, neither of these two guys have responded to the growing petition or player demands for refunds across all platforms. Now, I guarantee you the petition is still going on now. So I already know for a fact that it's way more than this by now. But while Steam is reportedly offering refunds to Battlefield 2042, players, folks on PlayStation and Xbox have been so far unable to secure similar deals due to stricter anti-refund policies on those platforms. Okay. So obviously Xbox and PlayStation. Okay, have a note. Would you be upset with PlayStation or you have an Xbox right now? So would you be upset with Xbox in any way, shape, or form?
No.
So okay, the reason why I ask you that is because if Steam is allowing refunds, wouldn't you say that? Wait a minute, Xbox, where's my refund? I would be upset with Xbox.
No, because like there's nothing to refund. Like the game works. It's just the problem is the game sucks. That's what the problem is. The game works. I can pop in, Battlefield right now and play it. The problem is that the game in general is not good. It's not good. Like with Cyberpunk, the game was broken. Especially on console, that game was broken.
Yeah, that game was unplayable.
And look, the beginning of Battlefield wasn't, it was a hard time playing. It was very unplayable also from what I can hear when I heard. But right now the game works. The problem is that the game is just not. The game's not good. It's not Battlefield. It's broken when it comes to mechanics are broken. It's just not. It's not a good. It's not Battlefield. That was the problem. It's not Battlefield.
Yeah, but if you have situations where you couldn't even put a scoreboard up and you don't have voice chat, like no, that's unacceptable to me.
All right, let me read this from Nelly. Let me read a couple of the things from Nelly. Right, he said, "Don't forget they dropped the ball with Star Wars also," which is true. Like they totally effed up Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then he said that Microsoft refund policy is way less stricter than Sony. In fact, I'm pretty sure they are just as lenient as Steam. From what I heard, they are. As far as I'm concerned, I can tell they are. But the thing with Cyberpunk is they had a marketing deal with Microsoft, right? So I guess Microsoft was more lenient when it comes to that. I don't know. I don't know if they're the same way with EA also, because remember, EA, that's their baby. Sony will lock your account if you do a chargeback or have an account with a negative balance. Right? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Wow.
And then but like ultimately, like I mean, this is the last thing we can move on from
Well,
this. But like, you go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Because here's the thing, though, Having though. I mean, I understand what you're saying. Oh, the game, still works. But the reason why I still put it in the same bracket, as Cyberpunk is because one, Cyberpunk was obviously unplayable, like with all the glitches and all the other stuff that and people was like making people were making fun of it. People was making memes about it. Like it was a huge deal because that game was so anticipated, throughout the whole entire world. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to play the game, but ever since I saw the reviews for it, I said, hell no, I'm not even going to give this game a try. Not after all the glitches that I saw. Now, when it comes to, Battlefield, you said it yourself. They didn't have a campaign mode. The whole, voice chat stuff, didn't function correctly. So at the end of the day, all the features were still missing. The features were
and there are multiplayer features that were in past Battlefield games that's not in this one.
Right. So if people want to ask you for their money back, whether because the game sucked, whether if features were missing, it may not be as bad as what Cyberpunk went through. But I'm not going to be paying full price $70, for when you're only giving me half of the content that's in there. Absolutely not. I'm not doing it. And back to Cyberpunk, when we were talking about Cyberpunk, in the group chat, and then when people was talking about how there was just constant, glitches over it, dude, I no longer wanted anything to do with the game, even when they promised that it would get fixed. Now, I don't know how the game is now, because I no longer wanted nothing to do with the game. And remember, I almost felt the exact same way when it came to Street Fighter V. Like I remember I told you, the situation that happened with Street Fighter V when we was at Big James' house, doing the whole party, situation. I was pissed off, and I'm a huge Street Fighter fan. But you came and released, an incomplete game. You didn't even have any single player, options on there, and it's like, what's the point? Even if you decide to get the game fixed, like it's about principle. At this point now, it's about principle.
Yeah. That's why this is a reminder. King of Fighters 15 actually comes out tomorrow.
Oh wow!
So
are you getting it?
Yeah.
Are you getting it? All right. Yeah. Let me know how it is. I really do want to. I would like to I don't think it's available on the Switch, but I would like to figure out a way if I could come over and play. But yeah, there's one last point. I was very, very pissed off with Cyberpunk because you have to remember there was just so much hype and so much anticipation for that game to be released. People was waiting for that game because it was developing for years, like years in development. You better make sure that game turns out to be good. And they didn't deliver. So it just left a huge bad taste in my mouth where I just no longer wanted to do with the game. The same thing happened with Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Was waiting years for that game to be developed. With all the awesome trailers that they showed.
Yeah.
I no longer wanted anything to do with the game, despite the fact I'm a huge Street Fighter and Tekken fan. The same thing happened with Street Fighter V. And now we got to do, with this nonsense in Battlefield. Like, I just want nothing to do with the game. I want nothing to do with it because, again, it's about principle. It's about principle. You took my hard-earned money. $70 is not cheap. Spending $70 and you only give me half of the game, where probably that content that you gave me is probably just worth $20.
To me, the No, let me read some stuff from Nelly first. Like I game on. He said I game on PC and PS5, and he said blah. SNK sucks. Cap gods are the best, and he put a joke. And he put joking on there. So yeah, I'm looking. I'm looking forward to KOF 15. All right. So based on everything that I see here, right? Like, and to me, here's the thing, right? I don't care if they have campaign or not. It's fine. It
Really?
doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. What because like if what Nelly's saying is true, and I don't, and I do believe what he's saying is true. They only had like not a month and like 18 months to do this game, to make this game, right? Uh, if you only have 18 months to make the game, then like I'm like fuck, man. Like at least have the game. You know, if you're going, I don't know, man. Like I don't get what EA was trying to do with this game. If you only had that much time for the game, then what they should have done would just take what they did with Battlefield One. Use all the new weapon, new environment, stuff like that, and just pop Battlefield One in there. Make some improvements, obviously, but that's what they should have done. That's what they should have done.
Yeah.
But like instead, they decided to rush the game. They decided to make the game different for the sake of trying to make a profit, and they ended up I mean, we'll see what happens, but like like we'll see what happens when it comes to I don't know if the game sales are going to override the negative impact of the game. I don't know. I hope it does, because this is embarrassment.
Yeah.
This is not right embarrassment, and the only thing that's saving them is just the fact that every major first person shooter that came out that area, like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Halo, all came out within 3 months of each other, right? All came out within 3 months of each other, and all of them have issues. I'm probably the only one that what's funny. I wasn't able to access Modern Warfare for the holiday weekend, the holiday week.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because they had an update with Warzone, and that effed up Modern Warfare.
How,
Couldn't play it at all.
how's that possible? Like,
This how it is, man. That's modern gaming for you.
right,
Modern gaming for you.
here's here's what very interesting. So I read this. Well, let me read it again. So as we saw during Cyberpunk 2077 fiasco last year, it's not easy to get storefronts like Xbox and PlayStation to offer refunds on digital purchase games. Also, what it is with video games that have a 2000XX year at the end. Now, the petition claims that if it hits over 50,000, I guess that's the magic number, signatures, the creator will contact lawyers to potentially start a class action lawsuit against EA and DICE. Good. And Kotaku contacted EA about the petition and the ongoing Battlefield 2042 situation, but didn't hear back before the. Well, of course, not going to say anything. Not going to say anything. But the fact that they only needed 50,000 signatures, and they will contact lawyers, dude. I really do hope that it's set in stone, and that they get sued. I really want that, because you can't constantly allow this to happen. I'm sick and tired of all these companies saying we'll give you an incomplete game, but we'll fix it later for you. Give me all your money now. Give me all your money now, and we will fix the game for you later. I mean, this type of business practice, is just unacceptable to me. And this is why, once again, I'm just not in a rush, to play all these games, because I'm sick and tired of being treated this way. I'm sick and tired of being treated like as if you could just take my money and give me every crap just because it's convenient for you. Like, no, I'm not dealing with that, man. I'm not dealing with that. So I'm not reading anymore. I'm already too pissed off, and this is too much to read. This is too much to read. So My apologies, everybody, but it's just too much. Like I'm done.
That's fine. I'm done talking about this too.
Yeah, I'm
But
done.
let me read the comments from Nelly because he had a lot here. First, he said that he'd love to see a SNK versus Capcom. Yes, we do. We all would. Let me see. EA, EA, they're making games for shareholders, not gamers. Simple as that. I agree. I mean, EA, all they do is kill studios they acquire at the end of the day. I mean, look at BioWare. BioWare used to be one of the top developers in the industry. Now look at where they're at. So he's right there. Also, you guys should look at the bright side. Just alone in 2021, more indie AAA studios are formed than ever before. Lots of movement going on in the industry. All right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Says also, when I say indie AAA, there are independent studios, but a lot of AAA talent. Yeah, I get that. And then I also want to address this. The Your delay on the chat is really really long, more than usual. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let me address this. Now I don't know if you're familiar with it, but we're on StreamYard, right? I pop up the chats manually, so it's me controlling what you see on the screen, right? And obviously, if I see something, I try to highlight all the chats as much as possible, right? So it's not a delay. That's just me. I'm trying to get everything. I'm just trying to get just trying to get everything on there. I'm the one that's controlling the chat. It usually takes about 10 to 30 seconds, but it takes my stuff like 2 minutes to show up. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, that's me doing that. So that it's not a delay. That's me. That's me. Just letting you know. So all right.
Um, I wanna see that. I really like what he said because a lot of these indie games that's been releasing.
Yes.
I really do hope that eventually
Yes.
they continue to grow. Wait, what happened?
No, I'm replying to him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I really do, believe that these indie games, hopefully, they'll continue, to get bigger and bigger. And I think as long as we continue to, show them, support, I hope that one day, I know that's not going to be soon, that it will bring more pressure into the, triple A, studios that, hey, they're paying more attention, to these indie games because at the end of the day though I'm going to make a smart prediction. I honestly believe that if these indie games continue to be great games, people are just going to people will just eventually get tired of these incomplete games where everyone's just going to just start playing indie games or just go elsewhere at the end of the day because
Or
that's
if they become popular, EA is just gonna buy them. That's what they did to
oh
Bioware.
oh yeah, you're right. You know what?
That what they did with Bioware. That's what they did with Dice. Like once they get popular, they're just gonna buy them. The most creative games ideas are in the indie space. AAA, AA is long dead. Yeah, he's right about that. Like, and then he said that and AAA games are too samey nowadays. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with him there. Man, all right, but anyway, it's time to move on. The last topic of the day is Ben Simmons and James Harden. That's the topic. Those are the two players I feel like we talk the most about in the game in this podcast. That's why I feel like that.
Really?
Yeah, that and also Kyrie Irving, which has a lot to do with this also.
Hmm.
But you pop this up, and let me read this one last part from Nelly. As great as graphics and game design does get, the genres and games we have been getting have been on rinse, wash, and repeat since 2010. I say just about. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that too. This is getting a lot of the same shit.
Oh, since 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I and like you said before, Hoovy, like we both said this a lot of times. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like we've seen over the years how many awesome, fantastic franchises get ruined, get compromised because they try to either appease a different audience or try to copy, some of the game, and then the franchise gets ruined. Like we seen how what happened, with Resident Evil, with Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6. We've seen that what happened, with Final Fantasy when they tried to cater more to the Western audience. You know what I'm saying? And obviously now we're seeing it with Battlefield. We saw it with Cyberpunk. Like with all these games, and then with these stupid corporations, shareholders. Like, I mean, you look at the track record. clearly when you see that when you compromise the game from its original identity, you see that it pisses people off, and that could actually ruin your franchise, which eventually is going to ruin your pockets. It's going to hurt your pockets at the end of the day. But anyway,
All right.
that's it. Are you going to read those two?
No, like he said that he liked RE5, 6 was okay, but remake 2 is the GOAT.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that Resident Evil 5, was a bad game. The problem is they made it too much like Gears of War, to where I believe Resident Evil 5. Well, what Capcom did is ruin the Resident Evil's original identity, which was make it a traditional survival horror game. But all it really turned out to be was just a plain action game. So you got rid of all the formula or recipe, if you will, to make a traditional horror survival game, and I didn't like that. I'm not saying that the game was bad, but it just was no longer a survival horror game anymore. And when you do that, you kind of ruin the franchise. And when they made six just got even worse. Six just got even worse. So as I said, if the game is not broken, don't try to fix it. Don't try to fix it. Use what already works.
All right, can we get to Harden and Simmons?
Why are you asking me? I'm just responding to the comments.
I understand, but can you get do you have an article to share or what?
Oh, I thought you did, because that was mainly yours.
No, it wasn't. I don't have it.
I have it here.
All right. Regardless, anyways, all right. When did the trade happen? I forgot what day did it happen.
I can't remember.
All right. So, anyways, a couple of days ago, the trade actually happened. We talked about the trade last week potentially happening, and now it actually did happen. So.
He said, I'm gonna skip some of it. He said he's not a big NBA guy. Love MMA. We love MMA too. We love MMA too, and I think like I believe MMA has gone to a. I'm not gonna say it has gone down. It's just that they don't have the same amount of superstars like they did back in the day. Like you would have someone like John Jones that would carry the sport, but he's just acting stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like you had guys like obviously Brock Lesnar who had his time, but Conor McGregor is the only one that has the most major or most relevancy throughout the company, but he's not winning right now. So
And you didn't mention this one thing here. When Keiji Inafune became Capcom president, and I do remember hearing this, that he wanted to push the Capcom game to be more like the United, like to make it more westernized. That's why RE5 played the way that it played. That's why RE6 was what it was.
yeah,
I do remember that.
yeah, I think I remember that too. But again, it was like I was playing Gears of War. If I want to play Gears of War, I'll just play Gears of War.
Yeah. And okay, so he asked this, and I actually wanted to call you out on this. Like I didn't, yeah, I wanted to call you out on something, but I don't think we have the time, because I do want to get to the trade topic, and then I want to go to sleep. But it's funny, that LeBron James broke a record this past a couple days, like yesterday. You know that, right?
I think he broke like all time scoring record, but that's with playoffs and regular season though, not with regular season.
That's true.
But I hope you realize no one really paid attention to with that record.
So you didn't.
Nobody did. Like I don't think there was a list of players. Like
there's a list of players that had the most points of all time playoffs and regular season.
Mm-hmm.
There's a list.
Who's on that list?
Well, right now, number one on that list is LeBron James.
Okay, who else is on that list?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, trust me, there's a list. There's a list.
No one
And
ever, no one
it's
ever,
funny.
no
It's
one
funny.
ever talked about it.
It's no. It's being talked about.
I don't think so. But
It's
go
being
ahead.
talked about.
Okay.
But like when Steph Curry broke the 3-point record, he broke another record for most points in the most 3-pointers in a consecutive game, and you wanted to talk about that. But you don't want to talk about this. A more relevant record, but you don't want to talk about that.
We could talk about it.
Not right now, no, because you're the one that's supposed to bring it up.
Why?
Because you're the one that wants to talk about records and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, but you don't think what Steph Curry did, was very impressive?
Of course it was.
Okay.
This is more impressive.
It's mainly due for longevity, but that's fine. That's fine. But he says his top is Jordan. His top 3 is Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron. Okay. All right, having we have to talk about this thing, but let me address Nelly's on top 3. Okay. The reason why I just emphatically, if that's even a word, disagree with your top 3 is because you have other guys, such as Magic Johnson, Kareem, Abdul-Jabbar, and et cetera, right? For me, I can't, as great as Kobe Bryant is, I cannot put him ahead of Kareem. I cannot put him ahead of Magic, and I cannot put him ahead of Shaq or Tim Duncan. I can't do it.
You can't do it, but he did.
I can't.
This is his top 3, not yours.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm just saying, in my opinion, can I give my opinion? Yes or no?
Sure.
Good. In my opinion, I believe that Kobe Bryant is probably on the. I would put Kobe Bryant as number 8 or number 9. Kobe Bryant.
In your list.
Yeah, in my list, I would put Kobe Bryant as he's either number 8 or he's number 9. A lot of people that hasn't even had Kobe Bryant in the top 10. But the reason why I can't put him in number 2 is because you had guys such as Tim Duncan, especially Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal was the best player on that team when they were winning those 3 championships. Shaquille O'Neal was clearly the best player in that team. So it doesn't really make, for me, not for you, but for me, I just can't put Kobe Bryant in such a high list, claiming that he's better than Tim Duncan and Shaq and Kareem. I just can't do that. Those guys dominated the league, and not only did they dominate the league, the whole entire league, but look at all the accomplishments that they had, all the MVPs, all the final MVPs, all the all the individual awards that they had, surpassed Kobe Bryant. So the thing that Kobe Bryant has just about over everybody else is that he was major box office. Like you could add that into your arsenal. But that's pretty much it. When it comes to everything else, like they achieve more than Kobe Bryant, in my opinion. Do you agree with his list?
No, it's his list. I don't have no problem with his list. It's his list. It's his.
That's fine. But I'm just saying that I'm just telling you why I just disagree with it. That's all.
That's fine. Anyways, the trade happened a couple days ago. Who do you think won the trade?
I think Philadelphia won the trade.
Yeah, I agree too. I don't know where everyone gets this idea that the Nets won the trade. I don't get where this fascination is. I don't get what the fascination is with not telling people what the deal is, what the actual truth is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, and the thing is that, and look, I'm not a fan of James Harden. I'm not.
You hate James Harden, actually.
Yeah, but everyone knows why he left. Everyone knows why he left because of Kyrie. It's that simple. He left because of Kyrie.
Yes.
Like, and everyone and people are like pretty much pointing out that they're blaming him because because I guess he reported that he wanted to trade but he didn't want to make it public because he didn't want the scrutiny. Well, like, damage is done, bro. Like, come on, damage is done. Like, Damage is done. Like there are people apparently inside the Nets organization who knew that he wasn't happy, and they knew that he didn't want to be there.
Do you have the article?
No.
Yeah. Get the article because I'm tired of reading of all that reading I did. I need a little break.
Let me look for stories. But anyway, okay, yeah. So like pretty much, yeah. To me the Sixers won that trade. Like, they won that trade because they're getting a guy who, now granted he is hurt, but right now, like, when he's healthy, like they're a title contender, and I don't feel the same way about the Nets, and
Do you
that's mainly
think
yeah. Go ahead.
you don't think the Nets is a title contender
Nope,
because of Ben Simmons?
that's part of it.
What's the other part?
The main one is Kyrie.
Um,
You have two guys on that team you can't trust. You have two guys on that team now you can't trust. As much as I trust Kevin Durant because he's their best player, at the end of the day, you have a guy who short circuited in the playoffs, and instead of getting better, he decided to be petty, and not and not and he decided to he decided to be petty and not play. He decided not to play no more. Then you have another guy who, regardless of his vaccination status, he's a guy who ultimately, if he has a bad day, you don't know if he's going to show up to work at the end of the day. You have two guys that you cannot trust.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So and while Harden, listen, I'm not the biggest fan of Harden. At the end of the day, if he's healthy and you have Embiid, then hopefully that should be enough.
Yeah, for me, I believe that the reason why I think the 76ers won that trade, you have to remember that even during the time last season, I know you're going to disagree, but there were a lot of people, especially in the media, including myself, that people were actually thinking that James Harden was the best player in that team because of how well he was, facilitating, how he could also finish. And yes, even though you hate all the floppings, he still went to the line and he scored. That dude was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Whether he was in Houston or whether he was with the with the Nets, phenomenal player. Now, for me, trading. I know what you're probably going to say. That you're probably going to say, "I told you so." That they should have waited. That they should wait. I told you so. I told you so.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I told you so.
Yeah.
Because if they traded him immediately after, like you wanted them to, they would not have gotten James Harden.
Okay, but here's the thing, right? If I was the general manager or the coach or whoever, right, I cannot rely on faith and hope that somebody who is elite wanted to get out of a particular team. I cannot put my faith on that. You know what I'm saying? Like that they just got lucky that James Harden wanted to leave. That's all it was. It was just basically based on luck because of Kyrie not wanting to take the vaccine. That's it. Other than that, they would have been stuck with Ben Simmons the whole entire season. You know what I mean? Like I cannot put my trust or hope that somebody will eventually want to leave the team that he's currently in. I just can't take that type of risk. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't, something like that, rarely, ever happens to where a guy leaves Houston and then he wants to leave yet another team. That rarely happens. So I still would have stick into my original position and trying to get rid of that dude as quickly as possible.
But as you can see, when they waited, they got a MVP out of it.
Yeah, they got it. They got an MVP. I thought they were going to trade for Lillard because after,
but like Lillard's hurt, and we don't know what his status is with that team. But they they saw an opportunity to get someone who actually is going to play. And I see Ben Simmons is at the Brooklyn. I don't know if he's cleared to play yet, but he's on the floor laughing and all the other shit. So we'll see it. We'll see if he's gonna play.
What happened to his mental health?
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
No.
I was wondering that too.
What happened to his mental health?
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
Mm-hmm.
Cause he cited mental health as to why he's not playing, and I guarantee you he's gonna play this year.
Yeah, and I hope he gets exposed. And I cannot wait to go back on Twitter and all these people attacking me defending Ben Simmons. Oh, I can't wait to go back at them.
But ultimately, like, why would I trust? Why would I trust? I can't like Brooklyn now. First of all, let's cut through the BS right now. The big three between Irving, Durant, and Harden was a colossal failure. The biggest failure of a big three ever in the NBA, by far.
Yeah,
biggest failure.
Yes,
and this is why. And honestly, a lot of this is on the feet of the New Jersey Nets, of Brooklyn Nets, excuse me, management, because they let the inmates run the asylum.
Yeah, but you have to remember, everything would have been fine if it was for that stupid mandate.
No, everything would have been fine if it wasn't for Kyrie.
No, everything would have been fine.
Even then, I don't know if they would have been able to coexist anyway.
What are you talking about? They were 13-1.
Hold on a second. Let me see if there's parts of this that Let me read this. Let me read this other article when it comes to Harden and Irving. Because it would not have surprised me.
What does the title say? The title.
Oh, I'll show you right now. Harden grew frustrated over Nets' offensive system.
Oh, this is not about the trade. This is about Okay, so you're talking about something else then.
Yeah. Harden grew frustrated with his situation in Brooklyn, as he wanted everything catered to him the way that it had been with Houston. Kevin Durant and Nash disagreed, as both wanted the Brooklyn offense to feature ball and player movement. This is what reported by Uran Weissman of Fox Sports, that Harden ducked into his shell at times upon being rebuffed. Harden even criticized teammates and coaches to NBA insiders sitting courtside at games. Right? They said that wrong. Let me see. Is there anything else? So that's just a report. Let me go back to the first article. Yeah, but like they might have had a riff anyway. Basically. But ultimately, to me, the reason why he left was because of Kyrie. All right. So Harden Simmons trade round up Kyrie Harden beef ? Is Harden passive aggressive? Yeah, I mean that's not a question. Yeah, he probably is. He more than likely he is. Let me see. Let me see if there's anything else.
Dude, just read it, man. Just read the article.
I'm not reading the whole thing. All right. Okay. All right. More than one day after the Ben Simmons Harden blockbuster, the more it sounds like Philly and Brooklyn helped each other clean up two of the biggest messes in the league. If you believe the reports, it sounds like Harden wanted to go to Brooklyn last season, but then changed his mind over time. Player empowerment was a maddening theme for Sixers fans recently, who didn't think a player should be allowed to sign a max contract and then strong arm a team into trading him for pennies on the dollar. This is why I said you don't trade him right away. But at the end, it was what other stars wanted that helped them resolve what's been one of the most incredible trade stalemates we can remember. The Nets victory is now one of all time what ifs. No, that's not what ifs. That's called a failure. It's not a what if. It's a failure. The Sixers in this process, Daryl Morey, Joel Embiid, Sam Hinkie, James Harden's story is the absolute perfect Moneyball 2 screenplay waiting to be written. This is instantly the most incredible rivalry in sports now. As Terrell Owens says, get your popcorn ready. All right. All right. So what they're going to do here, they're going to round up some of the most riveting squabbles, beefs, and already infamous moments, and one of the biggest blockbuster trades to go down in recent years. So we're going to start with this. This is from Zach Lowe. After one more failed playoff run with Westbrook, Harden was done in Houston. He sulked and threw lazy passes until the Rockets traded him where he wanted to go, to Brooklyn. When things got difficult there, Harden got wanderlust again, chasing a new start in a new city. That's what he wrote. That's what he wrote.
Who wrote that?
Uh, Zach Lowe of ESPN.
Okay.
All right, and then SL. What is this? SL. Whatever. And just Scott Lowe again. It's Scott Lowe. Okay. In each of Harden's prior star partnerships, you can pretty easily find logical reasons other than James that they didn't work out. Dwight Howard is Dwight Howard. Chris Paul got hurt and had a penchant for grading on teammates at previous stops. Kyrie Irving refused a life-saving vaccine and thus couldn't play in any of Brooklyn's home games. But Harden,
like saving my ass. Get the hell out of here.
I mean, I'm not dead, so. But Harden was certainly a participant in all of these fallouts, so eyes are on him making it work in Philly. I don't mind it personally. Some added pressure is just fine. For it should ensure that Harden goes about this reunion with Daryl Morey and pairing with Joel Embiid with the care and seriousness that it deserves. You have anything to say about this?
No, keep reading.
Okay. DE, I don't know who this is. DE, who the hell DE? Whatever. Daryl Morey seemed like the kind of person who looked almost as closely as things as didn't as that didn't happen, as he does things that did. Maybe he's lucky Harden didn't want Howard around, as it helped them revolutionize the game together in Houston post big man's. If Chris Paul did not pull a hamstring in 2018, then there's a great chance Harden's clash with CP3, Rush, and Kyrie, and or Kevin Durant never happened. In this alternate world, there's no prayer the Sixers acquired the dude who led the greatest upset in NBA history, defeating the best team ever assembled. For the package they gave up last week, Harden may still be tricky to get along with, but forging ways to get superstar to coexist is usually a prerequisite for winning titles. Right. So this is Joe Varden from the Atlantic wrote this. The Nets were in Cleveland January 17th. In the locker room before the game, Kyrie Irving lit ablaze some sage. A Native American ritual, Irving has embraced the cleanse negative energy. Irving doesn't do this before every game, but apparently still feels haunted by parts of his past on the Cavs, so he lit his torch.
Yeah,
I've seen him do this before.
Huh?
I've seen him do this before.
Yeah, I actually had the the article for that particular part right there. But yeah, to me, you know what? No, before I say it, you go, keep finish it.
Harden, according to the sources who were in the room when it happened, was seated in the front of his locker watching Kyrie. I'm watching Kyrie and looked at Kyrie like he had three heads. Definitely a weird vibe between them, one source said. You can tell Harden was annoyed and Kyrie wasn't feeling James. Yeah, you have anything to say about that?
Okay. All right. Look, to me, Kyrie Irving, I am all for defending him when it comes to the vaccine. I'm all for it. But now when you start putting in rituals and to the locker room and you started doing also sorts of weird, I don't know if he was doing any type of weird dancing, but they say he was burning sage. Look, man, keep that stuff away, from the other players, away from the locker room. Do that in your own time. Do that in your own time. That would obviously freak anybody out. Anybody. And I don't blame them. And I honestly believe that James Harden was already frustrated that he didn't want to take the vaccine, despite the fact that he supported him from not taking it in the beginning. But he was already frustrated with that. He obviously was frustrated, that KD got hurt. And to see Kyrie using sage and burning whatever it was, incense or whatever it was, obviously that was the icing on the cake. There was clearly icing on the cake because he probably thought that Irving, didn't really care about, playing basketball, that he only cared about doing other stuff. And I think that pretty much that crossed the line in Harden's mind. I'm just speculating, but I think that was the icing on the cake. And he really no longer wanted to partake with that team anymore.
You notice that he only did that in places where he screwed over the teams, like Cleveland, where he left the championship winning team because if I'm gonna be frank, because he didn't want to be the sidekick of LeBron James anymore. So he goes to Boston, and they had more success in Boston than they did when he was hurt, when he played.
Yes.
And now he goes to New York, and you go to New York, and you see what happens right now. I guarantee you that's not going to end well in New York. This is a hunch. Now let me continue reading. Okay, and Kendrick Perkins had something to say about possible preferential treatment Irving, hardly ever around much, got in Brooklyn that Harden may not have enjoyed. And you know what? This one I actually think this is true. James Harden did not want to play with Kyrie Irving because Kyrie Irving don't get held accountable by Steve Nash when they're in film rooms, but James Harden does, because Steve Nash was telling him that certain shots and certain looks wasn't good looks, but wasn't telling the same thing to Kyrie. He just didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be in that culture. Now I think this is true.
You think so?
But I also think that we heard a lot of the same thing when it came to Harden when he was in Houston. That he can do whatever he wants. He can show up anytime, be late for meetings and stuff like that. And there was this one famous story where he was late to a meeting, and I think it was in the bubble, and Westbrook was not happy about that. And it is what it is.
Well,
do I think that Steve Nash has control of that situation over there? Hell no, he doesn't.
Would you honestly think that anybody would? Let's be real here. You had Kevin Durant when he went to Golden State, was running amok, cursing out refs, going off on the media, calling people out, whether it was Stephen A. or Charles Barkley or whoever.
Mm-hmm.
You had Kyrie Irving, who left Cleveland, like you said, who left Boston, like you said. They didn't want any part of a championship culture, with LeBron James. Now he did his crazy fiasco of with the whole Black Lives Matter crap and not wanting to partake because of the whole social justice movement. And then you have Harden, who wanted to leave Houston by eating like a pig, by eating ice cream and eating potato chips all day, getting fat. I mean, like you put all that stuff together, you put that recipe together. What do you expect that you were going to have? What do you expect? Like, it's bad enough that you had a guy like Kyrie Irving, who didn't really take basketball seriously, and then you have another guy who's called the I remember Rob Parker called him the Massault, who is basically, it stands for the most sensitive player of all time, and that's what he is. He's too sensitive. So when you put these two people together, this is what you get. You get chaos. That's what you get. You get a dysfunction organization. That's what you get. You get people who don't know how to play right, who don't know how to play together, and who's going to run amok, and who's just going to cause a whole bunch of drama in the organization. That's what you get. That's what you're going to have.
All right, let me continue this. Scott Lowe, I don't have a comment about the Sage, but I will say that Harden disliking Kyrie and Kyrie's aversion to the vaccine and insistence on being a part-time player because of it certainly scores him some points in my book. I'm not sure if we're here today if Kyrie was just a garden variety conspiracy theorist rather than a full-on anti-vaxxer to the point that he was willing to
Ostracized.
ostracize a player as great as Harden for his beliefs. Right. I agree with, and this is DE. I don't know who DE is, but I agree with the spirit of Steve's point that Irving's uniqueness is a major factor here. I have little doubt that Irving's lack of availability this season is the biggest reason Harden is a Sixer. And yet, whether that represents 85% or 19% of the reason pie is still a mystery to me. For example, many of the reports have hinted that Harden rapidly grew frustrated following Irving's reinstatement as a part-time player, and there were more than a few strong reasons to think New York might change their vax mandate rules at some point in the future. In the days leading up to the reported trade request by Harden and ensuring negotiations. Now, let me address this. let me address that.
Mhm.
Now, obviously, I've said this in the past that I do believe that Irving's vaccination status was played a role in him not wanting to be there anymore. Him having preferential having special treatment. I guarantee you what had played a part in that also. Playing part in that also, right? Let me see. Is there anything else that was there that I missed?
Again, though, I still want to say that Harden was in full support in the beginning.
That's fine, but that was until he became a part-time player is when the issue started.
Why is it? So he was better off not participating at all. So Harden was happier when he wasn't playing at all.
Yeah,
How does that make any sense?
because I think that based on Harden, and this is just me speculating, based on Harden's mindset, he has to be all in order to play. You can't be a part-time player. And when they made Kyrie a part-time player, that's when the problem started.
I,
Cause
I unfortunately, the whole mandate, had to do with this, with the state, and not necessarily, with basketball. I keep using that, but you don't agree with me.
no, I
But
don't agree with you.
I still think so. I believe that it was an outside interference. If it wasn't for the outside interference, everything would have been fine. And Harden was in full support of it, and he shouldn't get upset because he became a part-time player. That was the Nets' choice. That was their
Yeah,
choice, not
yeah.
Kyrie's.
I guarantee you, if Harden had the choice, I think he would have chosen to be a part-time player also.
I don't think so. Well, maybe I think anybody would.
Right.
I think everybody would. All everybody wanted to do now is just take rest days and whatnot. And let me say this about this whole rest day stuff. Here's what I've heard. Now I could be wrong, and this all could be a lie. According to because I'm getting this from Stephen A. and I don't trust that dude. He basically said that I guess the CBA are going to go through a lot of different um I guess changes when it comes to players sitting out and players not participating in games and getting rest games. I think there's going to be a huge drastic change when it comes to negotiations with the CBA, and I think he's right. I think he's right because I think owners and fans are sick and tired of seeing players taking days off. Where you have to remember having that we were not accustomed to that back in the day. Everybody was playing 82 games if they were not injured back in the day. Like the whole thing, like I think what happened was when Greg Popovich started doing that with Tim Duncan, when he started implementing that with his other players, people didn't find that a big deal because I think it was because they were the only one that was doing it. They were the Spurs was the only organization that was doing it. But then once everybody else started doing it, and especially when LeBron started doing it, and Golden State started doing it, everybody else started doing it. Like people got irritated. People got irritated by it, and now with this whole thing, with Ben Simmons and the whole thing with James Harden, dude, I think the CBA, bro, I honestly believe this whole guaranteed money stuff is going to go away.
It's not. That's not. It's not. That's not going away.
When I mean going away is I think they are going to start taking away money if players are healthy.
They're not going to do that.
And are not going to play.
They're not going to do that.
They already did it with Ben Simmons. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they did because he got fined.
Okay.
He got fined.
Yeah.
He did. So that's technically already happening.
Okay, so you mean to tell me that every single player this season that had sat out got fined?
No, I mean
no, exactly. No, they didn't get fined. They didn't get fined. I guarantee you, whatever it, I don't care what it is, whether it's getting fined, losing a check, I don't know what it is, but I guarantee players are going to start losing money if they constantly started sitting out games. Because
it's already happening.
You just said that. All right,
it's already happening. What are you doing? Like
you already just said that every player that had set out, they didn't get fined.
No, it depends on it obviously depends on the situation. But if it's a situation that you are coming up with, then yeah, that's already happening.
I think
my point is the CBA is not going to do because the players had to agree to that, and they're never going to agree to that. So it's a moot point anyway.
I don't think so.
But how you think that the players are going to agree for a punishment for them missing games?
I think what's going to happen if the players don't agree that hey, if you purposely miss games and you are healthy and you just want to sit out and just take you just want to take rest games, listen, I guarantee you, in a consistent basis, when people do that, they're just going to get fined. That's what's going to happen. In a consistent basis. It's not consistent right now. Players are going to get consistently fined, or the organization is going to get fined if they constantly sit out players. Because it's either that or just let players do what they want. Let players do what they want. Like, give them the guarantee money and let them do what they want. And I'm telling you, fans are still complaining about it now. Fans are still complaining about it now. You don't think the owners are complaining about it? Of course they are. Of course they are. And you mean to tell me that it's a good thing that they're doing this right now? You honestly believe to tell me, having it with a straight face, that players who are healthy, I'm talking about healthy, decided to sit out and take a rest day. You mean to tell me in a consistent basis that's okay?
I mean, you're okay with that with Kyrie? Then what does it matter?
What do you mean I'm okay with that Kyrie?
He's completely healthy.
Okay.
He's completely healthy.
Is it by choice?
I don't give a shit what it was. The fact is, everything that you're explaining
is not by choice.
Everything that you're explaining, the only two people who are doing this are Ben Simmons, who doesn't want to play for that team anymore, despite the fact that he paid a max contract, and because he's not playing, he got fined. And the other person that's doing that is Kyrie.
Okay, so everybody else played 82 games that was healthy, right?
No.
All right. So
no,
all right.
But you don't know the situation. Like for example, Kyrie Irving, not Kyrie. Kyle Lowry missed 9 games due to personal reasons. I guarantee you he didn't get fined. Now, if you can find a story about an NBA player who decided just not to show up to play basketball, then please give me the article right now. The facts is that the CBA is never going to pass. But one, they already have rules like this already. And two, the players are not going to agree to any type of stringent punishment over missing games. They're not going to do that.
If there's a will, there's a way. I'm telling you right now.
All right, go. Tell me what the way is that the players are going to have to agree with. Because remember, the CBA is not just the owners make the rules and the players suffer. No, that's not how that goes.
I think they're going to find some way.
Are you just saying it, or do you have a way to explain it?
What do you mean? Am I just saying it? I think they're going to find a way. I don't know what it is, but they're going to find a way. They're going to find a way. What do you mean how? What do you mean how?
You have to have some idea how he's going to work.
You mean to tell me with a straight face, with a straight freaking face, that what Harden did with not one, with two teams. Two teams.
What did he do?
You mean to tell me?
What did he do? What did he do?
No, I'm not even going to answer that because you're playing dumb right
now.
What
did he do?
Don't play dumb with me right now. Don't play dumb with me right now. Do not play dumb with me right now.
What did he do?
I'm going to continue on.
No. You mentioned him. What did he do?
No, because you're playing stupid.
What did he do?
You're playing stupid.
What did he do?
The fact that what he did, the fact that what happened with with Ben Simmons, I am trying to tell you that crap, that all that type of crap is not going to fly anymore. It's not going to fly.
All right, so you're telling me that a guy that you think that Ben Simmons did not get punished at all? You tell me that Ben Simmons did not get punished for not playing for the Sixers?
No. Trust me. That dude did get punished. That dude did get punished.
Then what are we talking about?
Did James Harden get punished?
What can he be punished for? He got hurt.
What about what he did with Houston?
He played.
All right. Never mind.
No. You think that guys asking for trades is new? That's not new.
Because you're not. Sometimes I feel like you purposely want to miss the point. What James Harden did. You saw the criticism that I gave James Harden. What he did was unacceptable to me. To anybody.
What did he do? You have to be able to prove
what he did. Oh, now all of a sudden you care about proof and evidence and all that.
No, you have to prove what he did.
Anyway, what James Harden did, in my opinion, was unacceptable.
What did he do?
What he did in Houston.
What did he do? What did he do in Houston? He asked for a trade, and they gave it to him ultimately. That's what he did.
Okay.
Which is not against any type of CBA.
That's all that he did. Okay, that's fine.
I don't know what else did they do? Because look, they let him get away with all sorts of shit in Houston. They let him get away with so much in Houston. Like that dude has a reputation going to strip clubs. You knew that, right? As long as he was hitting you with 50-point triple-double, you didn't give a shit. You didn't care.
All right, I'm not. Who says anything about strip clubs?
That's what he did. So what do you think is worse? Him constantly going to strip clubs at night, or him, getting a little pudgy? What do you think they care more about?
I think they care more about the health.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't prove that. You can't prove that. You can prove the strip club stuff, but even then, they don't care.
Prove what? We saw that he got fat. You saw that he got fat intentionally so he could get traded. You saw that. What proof do you need?
But he went to Houston. He went to Brooklyn and he was fine in Brooklyn until he got hurt. He went to Brooklyn. He was fine. He was his same old flopping self. Got the same numbers. He was fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You're so for some reason you're so quick to defend Harden now, knowing that the dude when he turned into a freaking grizzly bear. And then not only did he do that, but then for 2 years, you wanted to leave Houston, and then suddenly you wanted to leave the Nets, and now you suddenly 76ers. Well, so what now? You're gonna say that you're not happy and 76ers, and you're gonna demand a trade then too?
Look, all I'm saying is that what he did was not against any type of CBA at all. You're just upset because you don't like what he did, which is fine. But that's not against the rules of the CBA. It's not.
I'm pretty sure. A lot of people. I'm pretty sure a lot of people was upset for what he did.
All right, that's fine. That's cute. That's nice.
Don't you think that don't you think that it makes the well, I don't want to say the whole NBA, but don't you think it makes the organization look bad?
Of course it does. But you know what else makes the organization look
That's
bad?
not a good image
You
to
know
compare
what makes
what I
the
play,
organization look bad? You want to make the organization look bad?
but to
Saying
complying to their rules,
saying
right?
saying that we have everyone has to be a full participant in our team, and then going back on your word. That would make an organization bad. When you let the inmates run the asylum, that makes your organization bad.
Yeah, when you let the employees take over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that you were always in favor of.
There's a difference between empowerment and letting the inmates run the asylum.
Nah, that was something he was
There's
always
a
in
difference.
favor
There's
of.
a difference.
He was
There's
always
a
in
difference.
favor of that.
But not to the point where it's gonna harm my team. Not to the point where it's gonna harm my team. Like the one thing that you seem to always forget when it comes to the Kyrie situation, because you and him share the same anti-vax views, is that the people who are getting punished the most out of him not playing because of his selfishness is the fans, is the Brooklyn Nets fans. Those are the ones that are getting punished the most. Because now they're the ones that every time they go to a home playoff game, one of their top 3 players not going to play. Why? Because he can't spare 2 seconds to get a vaccine. You know what I'm saying? Like
The vaccine is beyond
all this stuff about players doing this, players doing that. Kyrie Irving is doing that, and yet you ain't got nothing to say about him.
Kyrie Irving.
All this stuff
the
about
vaccine is beyond basketball.
Okay, but it's affecting the basketball portion of everything.
Okay, it's still beyond basketball.
It don't matter.
It has nothing to do with basketball.
But the problem is that it's affecting everything that's involving basketball right now. Because if he had gotten the vaccine, none of this shit happens. None of this happens. You know what I'm saying? Like everything you keep talking about, the players are doing this, they're doing that. They think they can do whatever they want, getting upset about it. But yet you have a guy who is actively saying, "Yo, I'm not getting a vaccine. So if I'm not going to play, I'm not going to play. It is what it is."
He didn't say that. No. He didn't say that. He did not say that. All he said was that he just did not want to take the vaccine.
And he's not playing because of it.
And he should have the right not to take it. And not be and not be criticized for
it. That's not the ideal situation. That's not the situation that he's in right now. And part of what Harden's upset about is that there are rules for some players and not for others. And even though it's hypocritical, because again, when it came to Houston, he's the one that made all the rules. He's the one that didn't have to follow anything. But now that he's on another team, he's not on the other side of it. And I understand it doesn't feel good to be on the other side of it.
But why did you even bring up the whole strippers thing anyway?
Because
why was that even relevant?
Because you're getting upset with him over him asking for a trade. That's pretty much what you're getting upset with him about. Him asking for a trade.
I'm upset how he did it.
What? Again, like how? What are you upset about this time around when it comes to Brooklyn? Because you can say, "Oh, well, he got fat in Houston." Okay, what did he do in Brooklyn?
In Brooklyn, he became a hypocrite. He said he was okay. He was perfectly fine with Kyrie not taking the vaccine. Now all of a sudden, he wants to demand a trade just because he didn't want to take the vaccine. Because now that he saw that Kevin Durant is hurt. And all of a sudden now, oh crap! Now because you said that he got upset over because he was playing part time. I think the reason why is because that Kevin Durant got hurt.
No,
he's
upset with Kyrie. I guarantee that's what he's upset with. He's upset with Kyrie.
Yeah. Because
remember, because like the thing that you keep forgetting is that when he said that, Kyrie wasn't playing at all. He wasn't playing at all. Now that he's playing part time, now that they're now in the midst of 11-game losing streak, yeah, he kind of wants everyone to be full participants, and I can't blame him for that. Yeah. Now here's the thing that I need to get you on. You're being upset with him because he asked for a trade because he's a hypocrite. That had nothing to do with anything. You're just taking Kyrie's side of the equation because you agree with him on the vaccine. That's all you're doing.
I take his side.
Yeah, but that had nothing. But
I take his side on the vaccine, which is
that's
one.
fine. But the thing is
But
that
two, now
wasn't that.
let me finish. I take his side on the vaccine, which is one, and two, James Harden. This is his second team for the second year who asks for another trade.
Okay, and
You you can't tell me that doesn't make a guy look bad. Like if a guy goes to this team and goes to that team,
I
he just
agree.
they're constantly asks for a trade. I can't respect anything like
I
that.
agree. That's why he didn't want it coming out in the public. He doesn't. He doesn't want to look bad. He doesn't want to look bad. Yeah.
I don't see what the problem is.
The problem is, but that none of that's illegal. None of that's illegal. None of that is part of any type of breaking of the CBA.
Yeah, but I don't think it still looks good that you constantly demanding for trade after trade after trade. Just because things doesn't go your way. I don't think that looks good, and I don't think
that's something that he has to deal with.
I also no, because the team still had to suffer at the end of the day.
I mean, it is what it is. He got to do what's best for him at the end of the day.
Don't give me that bull crap, having no. Like
if Kyrie can do what's best for him, why can't Harden?
I guarantee you, if Kevin Durant never gotten hurt, none of this would have been an issue. It's only because you keep talking about he became part-time. It's only because Kevin Durant got hurt. Once Kevin Durant got hurt, and then they became in this huge losing streak. They got into this huge losing streak. That's when he wanted to complain. It's because Kevin Durant got hurt. I don't think it has anything to do with part-time, because even if he was playing part-time, wouldn't we still have a big three part-time? Wouldn't we still have a big three part-time? That's one. And two, even when he's not able to play at home, you would have stiuld had Kevin Durant and James Harden, right? They still weren't they what no, I'm going based on history. Recent history. In recent history, before Kyrie even started playing, they were in the top two seeds. Top two. All of a sudden, Kevin Durant gets hurt. All of a sudden now, because he gotten hurt, he wants to get upset with Kyrie Irving. Again, if Kevin Durant has never gotten hurt, Harden would have never been complaining.
I mean, you could be right. You could be wrong. At the end of the day, it is what it is now. It is what it is. He got traded.
Well, anyway.
But the thing I guess the thing that I'm trying to be confused with is that you keep saying that you were saying that this is something that the league should look into, basically.
You don't think they should?
No. What did they look into? He didn't want to play. He didn't want to play on that team, so he got traded.
Yeah, I think what he did. I think what Ben Simmons did. I think the CBA is probably going to try to get at the bottom of this. I think. I don't know what it is. But I'm pretty sure, owners are no longer going to stand up for this anymore.
And I'm telling you that there's nothing they can do about it. There's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, you might be right, but I think they're probably going to find some way. Either be more strict on the fines, which means if they
cannot do without approval of the players.
Wait, you just said that they were finding players now already. What
yeah, they have a set amount of fine that they can fine them.
Yeah,
but you can't make it stricter without the approval of the NBA NBA players.
If they could find the organization or a particular player because he sat out, they'll do that.
But it's not. But you can't make it stricter without the approval of the NBA
Oh, what I mean by strict, I just mean that they're probably going to do it in a more consistent basis, like they did with Ben Simmons. That's what I meant.
All right. Is there anything? I don't think there's anything else on here. Is there? Let me see. We didn't even talk about the Ben Simmons portion of it.
Yeah, my bad.
I mean, pretty much, he got what he wanted. He got what he wanted. Hold on a second. Let me see if there's anything when it comes to if there's anything when it comes to Ben Simmons.
Well, while you're looking, I think Ben Simmons is a complete joke. I think he's a weakling. I think he's a coward, and I cannot believe he's still in the NBA till this day.
He's got talent, man. Like that dude's talented, man. Whether you want to admit it or not, that dude's talented.
Clearly not talented enough. When you become a liability, yeah, you're not any use to me.
Joel Embiid had a tweet after he got traded. I don't know what it was. I don't know if he sold it or what. I don't know.
I saw the tweet.
What was the tweet? What did he say?
Yeah, it was about it was like a guy in a suit and like in the tuxedo, like in a funeral. Like yeah, it was I had it on my Twitter account, but he was basically making fun of him. Something related, to a funeral. I didn't really understand the joke, but but I know what you're talking about because people was talking about it.
Well, but when it comes to that situation, when it comes to Ben Simmons, I was right ultimately. Yeah, I was right.
Not really.
Yeah, I was.
You just got lucky.
No, I didn't get lucky. I was right.
No, you got lucky.
It doesn't matter about being lucky. I was right. You don't trade him right away. You trade him you trade him when you feel like trading him. Not when he dictates that you trade him. And you wait for the right opportunity to trade him, which is what I said, and what actually ended up happening. It don't matter how it happens, as long as it happens.
See, that's the problem. It does matter because stuff like this doesn't happen all the time.
Right, that's fine. But one thing I said is that you're always going to have a player who is disgruntled or wants a fresh start or something, and that's when you use Ben Simmons as trade bait. I remember saying that when it came to Damian Lillard. I remember specifically saying about that. It just happened to be James Harden instead.
Well, yeah. When I said they should have traded him right away, I mean I did mean for a good player. Because even with James Harden, that's not equal value.
As far as
between the two of them, that's not equal value. James Harden is far superior than Ben Simmons, in my opinion.
Yeah, so it's not equal value. They got better value for it.
Well, yeah, because they got
Harden's a better player. And I think he fits Joel Embiid more, game style more. I think he'll play better with Embiid.
The reason why I don't know is because he already proven that he couldn't even get along with Dwight Howard. So I don't know.
That's fine, but Joel Embiid is a far better player offensively than Dwight Howard ever was. Far better player.
Even in Dwight Howard's prime, right?
Especially in his prime.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? So yeah, so that he'll be fine there. So I mean that's pretty much. I don't know if there's anything else you want to cover. I think that's pretty much it.
No. Look, I think I'm glad. I'm happy for Philadelphia because they had to suffer for this nonsense that they had to go through with Ben Simmons not wanting to play, and I am so looking forward. I really do hope that he plays because I want to see Brooklyn Nets against the Philadelphia Sixers at Philadelphia. Like I really
it wouldn't surprise me if it wouldn't surprise me if him. It wouldn't surprise me if he came up with an excuse not to play.
Yeah,
just like what Kyrie did in Boston.
Look, you can keep bringing Kyrie Irving all you want, but I criticize Kyrie for what he did in Boston and in Cleveland, and what he did earlier with the whole Black Lives Matter movement and all that. It's just the vaccine I'm defending him on. Everything else, yeah, he was acting stupid. Right, everything else, but as far as back to Ben Simmons, do I think he's going to help the Brooklyn Nets win? No, I don't, because I think James Harden was a much better. With James Harden is a much better lineup than it is, with Ben Simmons. Now everybody was basically saying you have all these shooters around, so Ben Simmons doesn't have to shoot anymore. Okay, that's. I mean, I could see that, but I honestly believe that team would have been more dominant with James Harden than with the Ben Simmons. Now, even though they're good now, I think they're definitely beatable. I think Miami could still beat them.
I think Miami could beat both these teams.
No, I don't think Miami could be. I don't think Miami will be able to beat. Yeah, maybe they probably could, but I think ultimately now the best team for me, I think, is easier. It's going to be easier, for the Bucks to be in the number 1 spot now.
Look, to me, the Ben Simmons thing, I think he does make a better fit for Brooklyn.
What?
Yeah, I do. I do think he's a better fit for Brooklyn.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, yeah, I do think so. I do think so. But here's the problem. And I'm going to say this, and I said this earlier, and I'm saying it now. You have 2 stars on that team you can't trust. And since I can't trust those 2 players, that's why I think the Sixers got a better deal out of it. I can't trust Ben Simmons, and I can't trust Kyrie Irving. I can't trust those 2 guys.
So how's it going to make them better?
No. I'm talking as far as pure basketball fit. Yeah, he don't have to shoot the ball. He has Durant when he's healthy. He has Kyrie. I think they also got Steph Curry, and Joe Harris is gonna come back. No, he's surrounded by shooters, right? So that's gonna aid in his game more. That's gonna help him more. But the problem is that he's a head case. You can't I can't trust guys like him.
Yeah, I can't either.
Just like I can't trust guys like Kyrie, and you have both of those guys on the team. I can't trust them.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think highly of them as a team.
So they're not going to the finals.
No, I don't think so. No.
You think Miami's going to the finals though?
I think Philadelphia. To me, I think Philadelphia is the favorite to go to the finals in my opinion.
Over the Bucks.
If Durant's healthy, you always have to give him a chance because of Durant. I may not trust. I don't trust Kyrie. I don't trust Ben, but at least I trust Kevin Durant. To me, the odds-on favorite to win the East is Philadelphia.
And number 2 is who?
Number 2, I think most people are going to say Brooklyn. I'm going to say Milwaukee.
Yeah, I'm going to say Milwaukee. I'm going to say Milwaukee is the front runner in my opinion.
Okay.
I think with this trade, it made it easier, for the Bucks to get to the finals because again, because remember last year, the Bucks was nowhere near as talented or close was winning that series until James Harden and Kirby got hurt. So with that being said, now that James Harden is out of the way and he went to Philadelphia instead, I think now this makes it a much easier road for Milwaukee. So I think Milwaukee is the front runner now with this trade. I think 76 is number 2 and Miami is number 3.
All right.
And the reason why I say Brooklyn is number 4 is I don't, like you said, I don't trust Ben Simmons either. And I think he, as good as he is, he's going to be exposed again in the playoffs. He's going to get exposed. They're going to find some way to expose him, whether if it's Hacker Ben, they're going to find some way. And I honestly believe,
and I don't think 6 months off is going to help that. Being off, not playing basketball, playing NBA basketball 6 months is not going to help that.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's it for me, man. I'm tired, man.
Yeah, I'm tired too. Yeah, damn, man, dude, 3 hours and 30 minutes. I think what really got us was the us getting all upset with the Battlefield thing.
Yeah, I think even Nelly said it here. The last comment that he made. You guys sound exhausted after talking about EA pillaging the game. Yeah.
Oh, for real. Yeah, that was so irritating.
It is mind-boggling how they fucked up such a sure thing. But this is what they do. So you can't be that surprised. Anyways, on that note, this is Movie 26. I'm out. Peace. Thank you guys for watching.
Um, yeah, appreciate everybody for watching. I don't know. I don't know if you're still there, but if you are, I really appreciate you support. Like all the stuff, all the comments that you gave, was just outstanding. Like outstanding stuff. We brought up really good points. So I really appreciate you. I'm gonna see if I could oh, you're late for the party, Malta. Dude, we're leaving, brother. We are tired, dude. We are tired. And it was a good podcast. Like it was a very good podcast. I really wish you were able to come earlier, but man, it was I thought it was a very decent podcast. So I'm gonna make sure I follow Nelly. And Having, do you follow him?
Hmm.
You follow him?
I think so, but if not, then I will.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure. I'm looking for him. I'm gonna look for him right now on my phone. But anyway, um,
Yeah, I do. Yeah, don't worry, Malta. I'll do that from now on. I forgot that he didn't get notifications on the podcast.
dude, YouTube is just freaking. I don't know what's wrong with YouTube, dude. Because there are a lot of people that I follow on YouTube, obviously, and then when I try to, get the notification bell, I don't get anything. And yeah, Malta, like, yeah, I know exactly where you're coming from because I don't get any notifications either. I don't. Not like before. So YouTube needs to fix that. But anyway, once again, one more shout out for you, Nelly. Malta, shout out to YouTube, brother. This is the Traditionalist 101 signing out. Have a good one.
Okay, Movie 186. I'm out. Peace.